Hi everyone, very good morning to you all. So within 1 to 2 minutes, we'll be starting with our session. All right, yes. So let us start with today's session. So yesterday, one second, let me start. Check the recording. Okay, the session is already recording. Okay, great. All right. So yeah, let's talk about the yesterday's thing. Okay, so what we started is with the bash scripting, and like we understood that we required, like, what is the importance of the bash scripting? What is the bash scripting? Is that something we understood? Then what we did is we created a VM setup, right? So VM setup is what, like, virtual machine we have created. So setup is basically that the machine where we will be executing the scripting. Okay, it could be your own Linux machine. It could be the Amazon virtual machine. Okay, it's you just required one Linux machine. On top of that, you can start executing the programs, and this is the best part. Okay, this is the best part. Let's say you want to work on the Python scripting, so you require the Python has to be installed. Okay, let's say you wish to work on the Java language, and you need Java installed to run the Java programs. Okay, but in case of bash scripting, this is a default shell that what you get, and because of this, this is very friendly to use. Okay, so you just have to type the script and then you can start working on that directly. Correct. Then the next thing what we did is we saw one sample script wherein we put a very hello world program and then we executed that one. So we understood that execution is permission is something we needed, right? Then the next thing what we did is we understood the variables, how to declare variables, and it's probably the bash scripting is having the best way to use a variable like a Python, exactly like a Python. Okay, so you don't have to declare what kind of variable it is. Okay, so if you just declare the integer, it's gonna consider integer. Okay, type it's gonna consider as integer. Like if it is float, like a point decimal, okay, it's gonna consider that as a float. Okay, if it is string surrounded by the quote marks, okay, so that will be considered string. So it's a very straightforward, and whenever we have to understand the value behind any variable. Okay, so we'll be putting the dollar sign in front of that particular variable name, and that's how we can use the variable. Okay, then the next thing what we see is the command line argument. Basically, while executing the script, if we are passing any arguments, okay, and we can use them, say let's say $1, $2 we wish to use inside our script. Okay, so we can use it. So that's something we understood. And then next thing we also understood the website setup. I'm sorry. The website setup is something we did it with the with the bash scripting. Okay, so great. Now we have understood those part, and now let's start today's session. Is something with the system variables. Okay, so what is system variables in come to the when it comes to the bash scripting? So basically, you can just think about that the environment in which you are working. Okay, the environment in which we are working, that is something the bash scripting environment or the environment which is created by the operating system. So operating system uses some of the variables. Okay, operating system uses some of the variables which we haven't defined. Okay, but those we already have it. Okay, present in our system. So maybe if we wish to use them, okay, if we wish to use them, then we can go in and start use them. Okay, so let me show you a few of the system variable, and in fact these are like very well known thing. Okay, so first of all let me log into the our EC2 server, then we'll talk about the system variables. So here we are inside the AWS account, and then here this is the server which we have created yesterday, and let me straight away log into it. Okay, so here is the public IP, and what I'll do is I'll just open the git bash, and with the help of that I'll log in. Okay, so I'll go to the downloads folder, and there we have the sh key. So sh -i Linux OS key is the key we have. Ubuntu is our username @ the IP. So here we go, right? And then we're writing a script on the root path. So under /root, we have this bash scripting folder. Under that, here we are writing all the scripts, right? Great. Now what we'll do, I'll just remove this zip file and all. Okay. So I'll say remove this one and I'll just remove those stuff because those are not the script, right? Great. Now here we'll write. We are here to discuss. Okay. Okay. Now system variables is not about the scripting. Okay. It is about a little bit more towards, like you can say, about the Linux. Okay. So here for each environment there are few of the environment variable we have. Okay. And we can always check. Okay. Let's suppose here at this moment we are logged in with the root user. Okay. By any chance that you wish that you are interested to execute the script, and you're also interested with which user you're executing the script. Okay. So we have one variable that is a user variable. Okay. We have this user variable, and this user variable is what? Current user, whoever it is, the current user we have. Okay. So this is supposed to print it. Okay. So here you can see when I'm executing echo hyphen echo then $user. Okay. So basically it's printing the root user. Okay. And like that, let's say if I just switch myself with the Ubuntu. Okay. And now here what I'll do, I'll just do the same, execute the same command to just show you that how that variable works. Okay. So if I do like this way, you can see that the user is what? It's one of the variable we have. And then you're just curious that while executing the script, let's say you're interested who is executing the script. So maybe you can just utilize those variable. Okay. And then you may ask me this question. Okay. Like, okay, so $user is one variable we have. Okay. Like that, how many variables we have? Okay. The list is not that big. Okay. It's a very small list. Hardly there are like 8 to 9 variables we have. Okay. And then those all we should get it on internet. Okay. So if I just go and search something like a system variable, I was having one document also, which was created by me, but somehow I'm not able to find that one. Okay, so my plan is to, like, I'll find that document and will. So what we're gonna do is here all the script. Okay, that whatever we are writing. So those all script, I'm gonna put it to the GitHub, right? So along with that, I'll just put up that system variable list also. Okay, and basically from where I'll be taking, so I'll just search it, right? So it's gonna be the same thing. So that is what here I'm gonna do. Okay. So bash scripting maybe I'll say. Okay. So yes, these are the variables we have. Okay. So if I just open this link in new tab, or there are so many document which should tell me. Okay, so this is also host name, host type, OS type. Okay, these are all nothing but the system variable we have. And when we have to use those, okay, when we have to use those, so in that case we can go and simply use it. So that is what the system variable we have. Let me show you where is the list. Okay, maybe not that great document it is. We have to read. Okay, we don't want to read. Okay, I just simply want a list. Okay, yes, here I may consider this as a list. Okay, so this is a bash. Okay, so this bash is what it's telling me the bin bash, that is what the shell we are using. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see here. I'll use that like echo, and then here I'll say the $bash. Okay, and let's see what's the output. You can see it's a bin bash. Why? Because this root user is basically using the bin bash as a shell type, right? And then in fact we are also doing the bash scripting. So this is what a bash we have. Okay, apart from that, you can see what else. Look, there are so many, but not all are useful. Okay, like rest of the all you can just ignore. So better what I can do is I can just create one document and give it to you. Yeah, maybe this is good one. Okay, the host name. Now, usually we are also interested on which particular machine we are executing the script. Okay, let's say you're doing some automation for so many machines. Okay, And while executing, you are also interested to see the output in output that which on which particular machine you are executing the things. So maybe you can just see the host name. So you can print the dollar echo, okay, host name. So here you can see this is what the host name I'm having for this machine. Okay, because this is the which machine it is. It is a VM machine we have which is created on the EC2. So it is like this way. So this is the host name we have. Okay, and we can change it, right? We can also do something called a set host name CTL, and then we can change anything else. But yeah, currently this is what the host name we have it. Okay, then maybe you are also interested to which particular path you are. Okay, so we have something like a dollar path also variable we have. Okay, which can tell you like all the environment variable path we have. Okay, so this is the environment variable path we have. So all environment path variable you should be finding here, just like a equivalent to the environment variable we have like in Windows system. Okay, then maybe you are interested at which currently path you are, so you can just use like a dollar pwd. Okay, that is the at which particular location you are. So this is what you have. Okay, this is what you have. So you should get all this. Okay, path, then PWD, and then all this you should get it. So these are the few of the variables you have it. Okay, and then you can test one by yourself. And maybe I'll do one documentation. Okay, around this, and then I'll share with you. So if we are interested to use any kind of a variable out of this, okay, so we can just go and use it. So these are called as the system variable. Okay, these are called as a system variable. So what is system variable? So these are the few of the variables which we already have it. Okay, which we already have it as a system. Okay, system has created this variable. So these are the variables we have. Okay, and you can use it. Okay, so these are the variables we have. Okay, PWD, environment, random variable we have, OS type we have. We are interested to understand which operating system we are using. Okay, you can use something called as OS type. Okay, so these are the few of the variables we have, and we can use it. Okay, we can use it. Let's say while executing the script, we are just interested, curious. Okay, at which path we are, so we can just execute PWD, and then by this particular environment variable, we should get come to know where we are. Okay, so these are the few things we have. Okay, which we can use it. So these are like a pre-filled or predefined variables. Okay, right now I'm using the, let's say I'm right root user. So when I do the user variable, so it's a root user. Okay, when I execute a script with the Ubuntu user, it's supposed to print a Ubuntu user, right? So this is what we require. Okay, sometimes we may require to just understand which user is executing the script. But this is for troubleshooting, and then for a lot of cases we might be interested to use, and there we can use this system variable. Okay, so this is about the system variable. You guys, I think this much understanding is enough for you. Okay, but any question you have here at this point, anything you want to ask, guys? Any questions?
No.
All right. All right. Okay, so a very simple topic. Okay, just understand, what are variables, and then use as per that. Okay, then there. So I would say that maybe this like list is quite big. Okay, you're not gonna use this big list. Okay, because the use cases around this could be, let's say, the user, the voice type which you're using, then maybe the which at which path you are. Okay, this could be the requirement you can, and these are the like few of the variables that you might be interested. Okay, host name, and then only these are the few things that we use. Okay, most of the times. Okay, rest of there are so many, but like those are like a useless. Okay, great. Now next thing is what we have to understand is the exporting the variable, and this is quite useful topic, or it is quite important topic, I may say. Okay, so here you can just think about right now I'm inside the shell. Okay, what is meant by shell? Okay, it's like a session, you can say. Okay, I'm inside the session which we have logged in. Okay, and whenever we are declaring the variable, okay, whenever we are declaring the variable, so let me show you something. Okay, what we will do, like for just understanding purpose, to have a more understanding, what we will do is, let's say I will say a is equal to 10. Okay, and if I print, if I wish to print the variable, it is a is equal to sorry, if I just like print this one, you can see this is like a 10, right? It's showing me the 10. Okay, now let me write one more script. Okay, I'll write one more script, and here I'll say nano 07, and maybe I'll say exporting vars. Okay, dot sh. So this is what name I'm giving. And now what I'm gonna do here is, let me write the shebang character. So that's mandatory, right? So now here what I will do is, I will write, let's say, echo $1, echo $a, correct? So you guys know, right? Like we have declared some variable. We have declared some variable equal to, like a is equal to 10. And here I'm saying echo $a, and let me save this one, and I'll say control X to get out of it. Okay. So if I show you one more time, okay, that 07 script, okay, it is just simply printing the output, right? Here you can see we got some result, correct? I'm also doing the same thing here, right? Like here also I'm printing the result. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll just say that chmod, that is a something execution permission we have to give it. So I'll say 07. And now we do have the permission. Okay, do have the permission 07. So this is what the script permission, like you can see it in green color. And let me try to execute it. Okay, 07. And if I just press enter, you can see nothing got printed. Okay, like echo $a. So $a value should supposed to get printed. Like this is what my assumption. Okay, this was my assumption. But no, it didn't got printed. Okay, why? So like here, what is happened here, that here I just said, I just declared a value a is equal to 10. Okay, and then I'm trying to utilize that variable inside the script, but somehow I'm not able to do it. Okay, somehow I'm not able to do it. Okay, let me do it again. Maybe in first class it is not clear. So let's say a is equal to 12. Okay, now if I do echo $a, okay, you can see we are getting the value, and I'm gonna run that script. Okay, I'm expecting that a value should be have it here. Okay? Should supposed to print it. Okay, the same thing I'm doing, or it is just only we are doing it in within the script, right? So if I press enter here, you can see I'm getting like a null. Okay, I don't have any value declared for the variable a. Okay, if I do echo again, okay, you can see yes, but we have the value. Then what is wrong? Okay, what is wrong here? Okay, I hope the question is clear to you. Okay, I hope the question is clear. So what is question, or what is the problem here we are facing? Okay, so you can just like think in this way, that first of all here for this particular script, okay, that whichever we have written, this script is not able to take the variables, or this variable is not able to understand a variable which we have declared outside the script. Okay, and what is the problem here? What is the problem here? Let's try to understand. So you can just think about, okay, like it's something we call a session. It's something we call as a session. Now what is session? Let's understand it. Okay, so here you can just think in this way, that we have the shell script. Okay, we have the shell script, and then here you can just think that shell script is something like this. Okay, just assume like shell script is this one. And now shell scripting having its own scope. Okay, shell scripting is having its own scope. So this is like one session we have. Okay, this is like a way we have one session. So whatever the variables we declare inside the shell script, those are limited with the shell script. Okay, and then here, like within the parent shell. Okay, within the parent shell. Parent shell means what? Here we have logged in. Okay, here we are logged in. Okay, now here in this case, okay, here in this case, let's suppose if we are using any variable. Okay, if we are using this variable, so this is a differentiation altogether. Okay, this is a differentiation altogether, and this is a child session which is happening for a few seconds. Okay, so when you are trying to execute the script, so at that time, one more session starts, and that is a child session we have. Okay, that is a child session we have, but that session is not able to access the variables we have, which we have declared here. Okay, and this is what the problem is. Okay, this is what the problem is. So now here we have a solution. Okay, here we have solution. That's what we're gonna learn here. Okay, what is solution? That's what we're gonna learn here. But at least try to understand the first problem. Okay, so we like, let's say again one more script if I write. Okay, and then if I try to execute this particular variable, okay, I won't be able to do it. Okay, let me tell you the vice versa situation. Okay, so let's say here I'll just open this nano 07. Okay, and here we'll declare, let's say a is equal to I'll say what I can say, maybe I'll take the other variable. Okay, let's say b is equal to 15. Okay, I'm just like executing, and then maybe here I'll say echo and dollar b. Okay, so we are printing the value of this b. Okay, let's see what happened here. Okay, so I'll say control O, press enter, control X. Okay, now here I'll go and try to execute this script. Okay, let's see. So obviously for first one, we know that that is not printing result. Okay, but second variable got printed successfully. Okay, let me try to print echo dollar b also. Let's see what's the result we getting. Okay, it's also blank. Now what is the issue? Okay, it's the same thing again. Okay, so you can just think about that this shell session. Okay, or this is the shell script session. This session and this session. Okay, they are completely acting independently. So whatever the values or variables you are using here, those are not accessible here. Okay, and same thing vice versa also. So whichever values you are using here, okay, those are not accessible here. Okay, now how you can use it? Okay, like how you can solve this problem, or like what you can make it to solve this problem. Okay, so we need to export the variable. Okay, we need to do what? We need to export the variable. So what export variable do basically? That export variable will make to use, or will allow you to variables which are created as a child processes. Okay, so you can just think about like this is the global session we have. Okay, right now we are logged in and we are executing the command. This all commands are very executing in a global session. Now when you export any variable here, okay, whenever you export any variable you here, okay, so you should be able to access, or your child shell means what? This child shell. Okay, whenever you are like creating any new script, okay, whenever you are creating new script, so that new script will be able to access the variable. So let me show you very quickly, that this thing, that let's say now this time I'm saying export. Okay, export a is equal to 10. Okay, now this time I'm just doing what? I'm just like using one keyword. Okay, that is export. And then here I'm saying a is equal to 10. Like we are declaring, or we are exporting the variable. Okay, so we have exported variable, right? So if I check value of a is what? You can see it is 10. Okay, and now this time I'll like execute this script one more time. Okay, I'll use this script one more time. Let's see what we get. Yes, this time we got the result, right? This time we got the result. So what is the like conclusion here you guys have to take? Okay, that whenever we will be exporting the variable, okay, whenever we will be exporting the variable, in that case only our child processes should be able to access the variables. Okay, so if we are declaring any variable as a globally, if you're declaring any variable is any variable as globally, okay, and then child process, okay, child script wants to access that variable, so we need to export it. Without export we cannot access that variable. Okay, so always remember this small thing. Okay, it's a very small thing but very important one, that let's say if you just assume to export a variable like this way, okay, or you just like declare the variable like this way, then it may happen whenever you are creating any new script you cannot use that variable. Okay, so you can even think about, let's say any particular script is exporting any variable. Okay, you want the other script also should be using that variable. Okay, so you need to export the variable. Okay, you need to export the variable. Now let me clear one more thing. This is just for the session. Okay, this is just for the session. Session means what? Here at this point I'm logged in. Okay, here at this point I'm logged in. Okay, so at this point anytime, okay, if I do echo $a, okay, if I execute this script, okay, anytime I'm able to as soon as I log out the system, okay, as soon as I log out the system, all this variable will get vanish off. Okay, so just keep this point in your mind that export variable, even it is not keeping my variable as a permanent one. Okay, even we when export variable is not keeping the variable as a permanent one, but when we have to execute, okay, when we have to access the variable among the child processes and like in a different session, so that's something is possible with only the export variable. Okay, let me break it down one more time. Okay, so we can just declare the variable just like this. Okay, we can just declare the variable just like this. Okay, so when we are using within the shell, okay, that's a global shell, so we can utilize those variable. But let's say if I create any child process out of it, okay, so those will not be able to, those script will not be able to access the variable. How we can make it accessible? So we need to export the variable. We need to export the variable. Now, once we have exported variable, okay, once we have exported variable, so child processes means what? Child shell basically able to access the variable. That's the first key point. Okay, okay, that's the first key point, and then that's how we can solve this issue. That's how we can solve this issue. Okay, now the other one more thing that I am also clearing here. Let's say if I exit here, okay, and yeah, I just log in again. Okay, now just look at, okay, what has happened here. I did a logout. When I say exit, I just got back to my Ubuntu user. Now I'm again logged in to the root user. Okay, now here, if in this case, like here you can see we have exported a is equal to 10. If I try to get the value for a now, okay, let's see what we get. You can see it's again blank. Okay, you can see again it's blank. So export doesn't mean that you assign the value permanently, but it is always a better solution to export a variable when we have to access the variable in a child processes. Okay, so always make sure that you will be exposing the variable, exporting the variable whenever you require. Okay, whenever you are declaring the variable for some case, okay, like for any bash script, and then okay, in that case, better way is to always export the variable so that any other child processes wish to use those variable, okay, they should be able to do it. Okay, so while executing the script itself, you will export this all the variables, and within the script, most of the time your variable will get utilized. Okay, once you do this, the your root, or once you switch your user, okay, so in that case, that variable is no more accessible, so it's like a vanish off. Okay, it's like a vanish off is something that has happened. Okay, so any question here, guys? Did you understand what we have done here? Is like, did you understood this export concept? Any question, guys?
No, no.
No, no question. All good. All good, guys. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sounds great. Okay, so these are small concept. Okay, but just try to understand, because in a bigger way, whenever we are using that in real time. Okay, so you may face a difficulty in accessing the variable. Okay, very simple approach. Okay, don't do anything. Just put the export word wherever you're not able to access the variable. Okay, so within the script, just when you are declaring the variable, just use the export word, and then that will solve you the problem. Okay, now you may have the other reverse vice versa requirement that in sometimes you don't want to export. Okay, maybe you don't want, so let's say this a is in a global session, you want to have different value, and in child process you would like to have different value. Okay, so maybe you can have some of the, so let's see one example. Okay, let's see one example around this one. Okay, so we'll take one example. Let's say let's say I'll go to this bash script, and here what I'm gonna do is I'll create one more script that is, or in fact, I'll just modify this 07 script only. Okay, so maybe here I'll say I'll make some good sentence. Okay, so so here, um, okay, first of all, I'll say echo uh, the in any sentence I'm just trying to make. Okay, let's say the dollar tool is very important to learn. Okay, now here tool is supposed to be a variable. Okay, tool is what? It's a variable that we have. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is, like, here I'll say export. Okay, so I'll say export, and then export what? I'll say tool is equal to let's say Jenkins. Okay, so Jenkins is what? It's a it's a it's a one of the tool we have, right? It's a tool we have. Now here I also want to show you something called as a preferences. Okay, so let's suppose here we are declaring the variable like this way. Okay, or let me go from the start. So what I'll do is I'll just like make it this way. And what we'll do is, so I'll just print it. Okay, I'll just print this much and we'll show you first of all reason what we get it. So here you can see I'm not getting any value here, right? Because we haven't written anything, right? Inside the script, we haven't declared the value. Okay, here you can see this is I have committed. Okay, this I have committed. Like whenever you put a hash, okay, so that will be committed out. Okay, so this is like a, here we haven't written anything like this. Okay, great. Now at this point, you can see that that's the reason it hasn't printed the value, okay, tool value. Now what I'll say is I'll say echo, okay, or export. Okay, I'll say export, and then I'll say tool is equal to what we'll just apart from Jetkins, any other tool I'll just say, okay, maybe I'll say that AWS. Okay, so AWS is very important to learn. Okay, something like that. I'm just trying to create sentence. Okay, so I'll say export tool is equal to AWS. Okay, and here I'll put it in quotes. Okay, and now I'll run the script. Okay, I'll run the script. Okay, here you can see that because I have declared the variable. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Okay, we have already done this one. I declared the export variable outside, and because of that, here you can see I successfully able to get the value as expected. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just modify that script again, and now this time we are declaring the variable inside the script. Okay, so let's see. Now here you can see that we have declared this variable at two point. Okay, one is inside the script. I have also said the export tool is equal to Jenkins, and from outside I have said the export tool is equal to AWS. Okay, let's say which one will win. Okay, so here I'll run the script one more time, and here you can see that it has got the inside the variable is overwritten. Okay, so what is the here we are learning is something also the preferences. Okay, preferences means what? It's gonna give the high priority if we have redefined the variable within the session itself. Okay, within the session. So whenever we are starting or whenever we are running the script, okay, whenever we are running the script, so during that time, new session starts. Okay, and if we are declaring the variable there again, okay, if we are declaring the variable there again, so it's gonna consider that particular variable instead of the global variable. Okay, so this one is also like preference is something you I hope you guys need to understand. Okay, and this is what we have understood here. Okay, great. So this is what we can do. Okay, and maybe yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, one more thing, let me show you one more example. Let's say here I'll say I'll write one more script. Okay, nano 08, and then we'll give the name as another script. Okay, now this is interesting, guys. Okay, please watch it carefully. Okay, so I'm gonna declare here uh, like something. I'm just simply gonna print it. Okay, so this is what something I'm gonna consider as a child process. Okay, so just say echo. Okay, and here I'll say child script. Okay, and here I'll be declaring the variable like this way. Let's say any variable that we would like to take it from there. So maybe here I'll say uh, tool. Okay, so what we are trying to what we're gonna do is we're gonna declare the variable there, and that particular variable here we would like to access. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. Okay, so I'm just like doing here what or to just avoid the confusion, what I'll do is like say any variable I'll just put. Okay, any variable. Okay, so this is what the variable we're supposed to declare in the that parent process. Okay, I'll just save it. I'll show you what I'm doing is. Okay, so maybe I'll give the execute access first. I'll tell you. Okay, what are we gonna do here? Okay, so here I'll show you the script one more time. You can see we are doing nothing. We are just simply printing any variable. Okay, and then that particular value I'm gonna assign it in the 07 variable. Okay, so I'll say nano 07, and inside that at last, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna execute that particular script. Okay, what was the name of the script? It was 08 uh, another script. Okay, I don't remember exactly, but let's see. Okay, if this is the script name we have. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is like within this script. Okay, yes, one more thing that we have to declare the variable, right? So I'll say export any variable is equal to, okay, say test. Okay, so what we are doing here is that we are basically introducing one variable here and we are exporting. Okay, and from that child, okay, we are creating one more child. Okay, like this one session we are starting. Within this session we are creating one more session. Okay, and here basically this has some value. Now this value should get be accessible here. Okay, that's something we are looking for. Okay, let me save it, and if I show you 07 script one more time, you can see this another script we are trying to run it. Okay, so this is the 08 another script. Okay, let's run. Okay, let's run. So first of all, execution of this script will happen. Okay, and then we are calling the new script, so it's supposed to run the next script, that is the another script. Okay, so let's run 07 script, and here we go. Okay, here we go. I think this could be the probably the best example that you can have. Just look at. Okay, the Jenkins variable, okay, which is declared within the script, you're able to access. Then child script, it has called. Okay, it has called a child script. And within that script, we have declared one variable, and that is also accessible. So within the script, you're able to access the variable. Okay, within the script, you're able to access the variable. What about, let's say, if we just like go and directly try to run it, you can see we are not able to. Okay, we are not able to. So because the globally, okay, like globally means what? For this child script, okay, for this child script, when we are calling it, okay, for this one, global is this, okay, global is this one, okay, and that's the reason when you're trying to declare the variable here, okay, when you declare the variable here, okay, so that has taken this particular variable, okay, available, that particular variable is, this variable is available here, and that's how we able to access the variable. Okay, so here I hope this is good, right? So we have created one script. Okay, among that we have called another script. Okay, and for that particular script, we have also declared one variable, and that variable we able to access. Why? Because it is available there. Okay, the variable is available there, and that's the reason we able to access it. When you are trying to independently run, okay, when you are trying to independently run that script, so in that case, in globally, it has nothing to do with, right? So here in a global session, we haven't declared that variable anyway. That's the reason. this script is not able to access that variable, okay, directly. But when we are running the script, so inside script we have declared a variable. That's the reason it is able to use that variable. Okay, so maybe this is what one thing that might have cleared or give you more understanding. But yes, any question guys you have at this point? Let me know. Any questions? Is everything good, guys? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so this was about the exporting the variable. Let's move to the next topic. Okay, and it's gonna be the user input. Okay, so the user input is something, guys. You can just think about. Okay, we are interested to take the input from the user while running the script. Okay, so what I'm saying here, that we are interested to take the user input while running the script. Okay, means just say that we are running in the script, so we'll be taking the we'll ask to user, okay, whoever is running the script, okay, give me the value for that, give me the value for that, and that particular values will be using inside the script. Okay, so that is something we can say the user input in the bash script. Okay, so here like I'll show you few of the examples. Okay, so with that you'll get to know. So maybe you can just think about, or let me directly jump on the particular example. Okay, so like first of all, what is the syntax? Okay, what is the syntax to take any variable? Okay, let's try to understand the example first, like the syntax, and then we will go on the example. Okay, just so there is something called, we have one keyword, and it is a read. Okay, it is a read is one we have as the user input keyword. Okay, so whenever we are putting the read, okay, whenever we are putting the read, and after that we can declare any variable, like anything. Okay, anything, like let's say variable. Okay, so any variable name we will be using. Okay, so whenever we say read, so our prompt will go and stop there. While running the script, our prompt will go and stop there, and we need to put the user input. We need to like type the user input. Then as soon as we put the user input and then we press enter, okay, after that what happened, that the value which the user has given, the value which user has given, that will get stored inside this variable, and we can use that variable anywhere. Okay, within the script we can use that variable anywhere. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. Okay, let's see how we can do it. So what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna let's say we will write one script. Okay, so I'll give one new name. Let's say I'll give the 09 as name. Okay, so nano09, and here we'll say user input dot sh. Okay, and as usual the shebang character is something we'll give it. Next thing is what? So here you will say maybe I am interested to echo some warning, okay, or some message that this is what the user has put, okay, or let's say I'm asking the question to you, okay, let's say uh, your best skill is, okay, and then here I'm gonna say the read. Okay, now read is what? Read is a user input variable. Like, and then after that, I can mention some variable. Okay, so maybe here I'll say skill. So what will happen? The skill variable. Okay, like skill is the what? It's a variable. Okay, so after execution of this command, it's gonna halt there. Okay, the execution of the script gonna halt there, and then like we need to put some input. Okay, we need to put some input as soon as we press enter. Okay, so whatever the input we have put, that value will get stored inside this variable, and we can use this particular variable anywhere. Okay, so let's say within the script, if I say echo dollar skill, okay, something like that. So we can just do something like that, or let's say if you wish to put it in a meaningful way, maybe you can say you have provided the skill as and then here I can mention the dollar skill. Okay, so something like that we can do it, correct? So let's just go and run this much. Okay, so that will give you understanding, the basic understanding about the skill. Okay, like this particular user input. So I'm gonna save this one, and here I'll show you the script one more time. So this is how our this is script look like. Let me give the access, the execute access to the script. Okay, so this is the 09. Okay, and now what we will do is we will try to run this particular script. Okay, so 09, and I'll press enter, and here you can see, so after executing, okay, your best skill is what, and after that it had just stopped. Okay, you here can see, here is the prompt. Now it's asking me, okay, like it's like here I need to put some value. Maybe here I'll say teaching. Okay, so I'll say the teaching, and then I'll press enter. Okay, so it got executed a new line. What we have, you have provided a skill as teaching. Okay, so what has just happened here, that we have tried to run the script. Okay, now that script halted in between to take the user input. Okay, and if we wish to use that input, okay, if we wish to use that input, we can use it, right? So that is what here we have done. Okay, that's what here we have done. So teaching is something, the variable that I have given. Now that value got stored inside this variable, and you can just use that value with the, like dollar skill. Okay, dollar skill, with this keyword you can go and use it. Okay, so that's something we can go and do it. Okay, so yes, we can do it. And then you might have seen, this thing in many of the cases where, particularly, let's say, you're trying to run any program. Okay, and then it may ask you some username and password. Okay, sometimes it may try to authenticate. Okay, so that kind of a logic building you have to do. So during that time, you have seen something, like where it, like here your script got halted. Okay, and it will take you the username. Then you need to put your username, then you press enter. Okay, then it will ask you the password. Okay, you type your password, and maybe you press enter, and that's how you get authenticated. Okay, so something in built-in like logic we have to apply later in the backend. But the prompt you get, right, the prompt you get, so how we can set up, so we can set up with the read keyword. Okay, now for a password is what, it's kind of secret. So whenever we are using the read variable, okay, like this, you can use one keyword that is something -s. Okay, so that's gonna ask you the winner in a prompt way. So let's do that one. Okay, let's do that exercise. So what I'm gonna do is, like, I'll just modify the existing script itself. Okay, so here I'll say nano 09. Okay, and what we'll do is, here we'll go and do something like read. Okay, and I'm directly showing you the how we can like take the prompt. Okay, so when you want a prompt, okay, so just say -p option, and with the, you're asking for the username and then something like a password, right? So here you can type like this way, that is a username. Okay, that is a user name. And now you want us to look little good, so maybe you'll keep one space here, and then after that you can type your variable name. Okay, like here you are saying the read as a like skill. Okay, so in which variable you would like to store that value, so you can just say maybe usr. Okay, so this is the variable name that you are passing. Then here you are saying read again -p, and then here you can again like pass your password. So then the next thing is, here you can type it, no, like here inside the script you can keep space, and now you can keep one more keyword, let's say pwd, something like that. Okay, or past, I'll say pass. Okay, pwd is having some different meaning, right? It's a present working directory. So now what is happening? Okay, but one more thing, that whenever the prompt is coming for password, okay, maybe when you're typing the stuff, okay, when you're typing the stuff, maybe you don't want to show it to the people. Okay, so you can use one secret option. Okay, -sp. So -sp will do what? Will not show you that what you have typed. Okay, sometimes you guys type and then you don't able to see it, like a password especially. Okay, so that is what here happening. Okay, that you're not showing it. Okay, so let me do, and then what is happening here? What's gonna happen here? So whatever the username you type, that will get stored inside this variable. Okay, and then whatever the password you're typing, that will get stored inside this variable. And maybe just for demonstration purpose, what we'll do is like here you'll type, like, let's say, welcome user $USR. Okay, so you are just welcoming this particular user to just as a demonstration that you are using this variable. Okay, now password is something we didn't supposed to like paste. Okay, sure. So let's say that I'm not printing the password. Just assume like that. Okay, and I'm just like printing the username. Okay, looks great. So here this supposed to ask the username. I need to type username. Then this supposed to ask me the password. I need to type the password, and then this supposed to print the username. Okay, let's see. Let's save it. Control X. Okay, I'll show you the script one more time. Just look at, guys, here how the script look like. So this
Amul,
is what we. Yes.
sorry to interrupt. Inside the SH like script, if I need to command out any line, it is possible. Like if I don't want that read skill, that is very like usually in
Yes.
Java, like yeah.
Yeah, we can do it. So we just have to put that hash mark. Okay. So you can just put that hash. Okay. And that's supposed to, this commented out. Okay. So this 3 line says is just commented out now. Okay. And then only this part will get executed. Okay. So yeah, you'll save it. Okay. And you'll say Control X to get out of it. Great. And now I'll show you the script one more time. Okay, yeah, this is how the script looks like. And now, this part is useless now. Okay, like as we put the hash mark in front of it. Okay, I hope this is what you are asking, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. 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 So and then this is what will get executed. Okay. And we have already given the execute access. So let's go and run this particular script. So I'll say hyphen slash 09. Okay, and then press enter. Okay, you can see it is asking me the username. Okay, let me say that Amol is what my username is. I'll press enter. Now you can see here. Okay, username is something will get stored inside this particular variable, that is USR. Okay, I'll press enter. Now it's asking me the password. Okay, now password I'll type, let's say Amol123. Okay, I've put, like, type something, but you can see that nothing got, you don't feel that I'm typing something. Okay, you don't even realize that I have typed something, but I have typed. Okay, I have typed because here I given the S option, that is secret. Okay, that's the reason you can't see what I'm typing. Okay, and I'll press enter, and you can see that the next thing. Okay, wherever you have to use this variable, you can go and use it. So password is something I didn't print it, but okay, I should have put it in the new line, right? Here, what is this happen? Maybe it got on the same line, but yeah, fine. Okay, so here you can see the welcome user Amol is something got printed. Okay, so what is the P option? You can see we got some prompt. Okay, we can't see the prompt. Okay, prompt is like this way. Now in Linux, obviously we have some limitation. Okay, you can't expect to have like big prompt coming here, and then you'll be typing and then doing this stuff. Okay, so prompt means here it is simple prompt where it is asking me the username. Right. That's what I typed, but that got like printed, and then I utilize that variable. Okay, I utilize that variable. So that is something here has happened. Okay, so this is the way that you can use the things. Okay, so any question, guys, you have here? Okay, any questions?
Amul, like how to print in new line? There is any idea?
So we just have to say echo and then like a normal line. Okay, so what we can do is nano09. Okay, so something like this. We can just say echo, and that's it. Okay, and let's save it. Okay, like this we can do. Okay, echo is what to print a blank line. So we don't have like in Java we have something like a slash n we have, right? But here we don't have anything like that.
Got it.
Okay. Great. Okay, so yeah, we are done with it. Okay, so any other question you have, guys? Anything else you want to ask? Any other question? And is this good? Like you're able to understand the user input, right? Something that I'm sorry, something like that. You're taking the input from the user. That is what the user input is. Correct? User input means what the name itself is saying. You'll be taking the input from the user. So your script will get halted. Okay, your script will get halted, and you have to press enter. What if you don't provide any value and then you press enter? So in that case, it will be considering the blank, okay, whatever you have pressed, like, but that will be just a blank value it's gonna consider. Okay. So keep in mind that at any case where you are asked, you're trying to access any variable. So if, like you need to give the value or else that will be considered blank as value. Okay. So fine. So this is what the user input is something we have understood. All right. Great. So yeah, this is all about the user input. Then the next thing that we have to discuss about the decision making. Okay. So we'll discuss it, but yeah, I believe like we'll take one break, small break. Okay. So before that, any question, guys, you have? Anything you want to ask? All good, guys? Everything is good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we'll take one small break, okay, of 10 minutes and then we'll continue ahead the session. Okay, so let's have a break. So it's 10:10. We'll be back at 10:20. Okay, so let's start talking about the next topic now. So we have reached till the user input. Okay, and now let's talk about the decision making. Okay, now decision making in the bash scripting is we do it with the help of something like if else. Okay, now if else is a very well known thing that is available in all the programming language, where based on some condition we do take the decision. Okay, now what is the meaning of if else? So if like if, then when we have some condition. Okay, it goes like this way, that if, then we have some condition here. Okay, now here, if this condition is true, okay, like here we actually, like whatever the output of this condition is, okay, if we have that in the true, okay, as a boolean value, okay, as in boolean value, then okay, then if this is what we have as true, then we would like to do a certain thing. Okay, like then do this, okay, else, okay, else means what, when this condition is false, okay, when this condition is not getting satisfied, in that case, okay, do this. So this is something, this is how we do the decision making. Okay, this is how we do the decision making. And when we are doing, okay, when we are working on the bash scripting, so in many of the cases, we came across such situation where we have to do based on some condition, okay, and if that is satisfied, okay, we are interested to do it, and else we would like to do it something else. Okay, so this is something we have as a if else condition. Now let's go and then understand examples. Okay, by example, that how we can implement that one. Okay, so here we'll do it. Okay, now we what we'll do is we'll do something little interesting. Okay, what we'll do is that we have learned how to take the user input, right? So what we will do is like just try to understand the scenario in this way, that we will take the input, okay, with the read variable. We'll take the input from the user, okay. Let's say any number, okay, between 1 to 100, or like any number, okay. So if the number is between 1 to 100, then you are interested to print that the number is between 1 to 100 or number is below 100, okay. When your number is greater than 100, in that case you need to print the greater than 100. Okay, so that's something we are interested to do it. Now whatever the knowledge we have, okay, till the time, with that let's try to implement that much. Okay, so here we're gonna write the our 10th script. Okay, so here you'll say nano 10 underscore what it maybe you'll give name, let's say if else. Okay, dot sh, as usual give the bin bash. Okay, and now here what you are saying is that maybe you'll say the enter the number and then you want a prompt. Okay, so like last time we did it. Okay, read is a variable, and then you would like to give some prompt, and then you will say enter the number. Okay, now once you enter the number, you would like to store that number. Okay, you would like to store that number in the variable. Okay, let's give as the number. Okay, number is the variable in which this particular number will get stored. Okay, so now next thing what you would like to do is probably, okay, like now that, like, let's say here in this case, as the next line whatever you're trying to put, okay, so that will come up here. Okay, so better what I'll do, I'll just say echo. Now what echo will do, echo will print one extra line in between, so that we will be executing next up on the new line. Okay, so that's something here we'll do. Now here we are it, so this much is we have already learned. Okay, this much is we have already learned. What here we're gonna learn, the next thing is what if. Okay, and after if we're gonna put and the syntax goes like this way. Okay, if, okay, then in square bracket we have to put the condition. Okay, then if this condition is satisfied, then do this. Okay, then whatever you have to do it. Okay, just mention all of this thing. Okay, else, okay, you can say else, and then in that case, else condition, whatever you would like to do it. Okay. Also, one thing to note it here, that whenever you are executing the things like a loop or condition, that is if else, okay, we need to close that thing. Okay, we need to close that thing, and how we close it? So it is a reverse of the if, okay, which is a fi. Okay, which is the fi. So this is something you guys have to keep in mind, that whenever we are executing the if else, okay, like this will go till what? So we are ending this if else condition with the fi. Okay, whenever you put the fi condition, so it's gonna break this thing, or it is ended here. Okay, it is ended here. And now this is what the syntax is. Okay, this is what the syntax is, but obviously we have to put the appropriate values inside in it. Okay, so here we'll do it like this way. Then here inside that we're gonna say number. Okay, number. So this number, right? So this we have the variable. So here you're gonna say like number is greater than. If it is greater than 100, okay, if it is greater than 100, then do what? Then just say echo the number is greater than 100. Okay, I'll explain this logic. Okay, give me just 1 second. I'll type this one whole thing. Else, when when we are not putting anything, okay, like when the number is less than 100. Okay, so in that case, like in the rest of the all cases, it's like a else condition, right? So here you will say what? The number is less than 100. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Okay, and we're done. Okay, we're done. So let's try to understand how the logic is implemented here. Okay, first of all, we'll take the user input. Okay, in this variable, that is number variable. Now, whenever the prompt will come, we have to type in the number. Just for a moment, just assume that we have put as a 150 as a number. Okay. Now, what will happen? We have put one extra line, and then 150 number has stored here inside this variable. Okay. Great. Now, next thing is what? Next thing you're saying that if, okay, this number value, okay, so 100, this is 150. Is the 150 greater than 100? The answer is true. Okay, and that's the reason then condition will get executed here. In this case, the number is greater than 100. Okay, so here you need to understand, like here this syntax. Okay, this syntax is very important. Okay, this is a condition first of all. Okay, and what condition is giving? If it is true, then it will enter there itself. Okay, then it will enter to then, or else if it is false. Okay, if it is false, then it's gonna execute the else part. Okay, so this is how the if else works. Okay, now you may ask me, okay, what this is? Okay, so this is the conditional statement that we have. It is a greater than. Okay, so and in case of the Linux, it's very easy. Okay, actually, okay. So for greater than, it is hyphen GT. For equal, okay, if it is equal, you can have it as equal. Like you have something in other language, you have something like this. Okay, equal means what? Is it equivalent to the 100? In that case, you can have the hyphen EQ. Okay. And other than that, you have one more that is less than. Okay. Hyphen LT. Okay. So as we speak in English, okay, it's like that. GT greater than, equal, okay, and less than. So it's a very simple and easy to remember. Okay, it is simple and easy to remember. Just like English word we say, hyphen LT means what? Less than, GT greater than, and equal. Okay. So these are the three conditions you have to remember. Correct. So this is the way that you will be mentioning it. All right. Now here, as per our requirement, I said as GT. Why? Because we are interested to find out whether the number is greater than 100 or not. Okay. And like that, as per that, we have mentioned here the greater than. Okay. Great. Now let's go and execute this particular script. Okay. Let's go and execute this particular script. So I'll say Control O, press Enter, Control X to get out of it. Chmod plus X 10th. Okay, and here we're gonna execute this particular script, that is this one. Okay, now as soon as I just put the script, it's asking me the number. Okay, let me put the number as 150. Okay, and here you can see on the new line, I got the number is greater than 100. Okay, why? Because I put the number as 150. Okay, let's run the script again, and this time I'm giving the number as 90, and we know that this number 90 is less than the 100, correct? So that's the reason I'm expecting to print now else part. Okay, let's see. So here you can see the number is less than 100. Great. So as per our the logic, okay, what we have thought accordingly, the script execution is happening. Okay. Any question, guys, you have here at this point? Are you good with this if else, the basic if else? We're gonna take one more example, but yes, at this till the time anyone has any questions so far? Any question, guys?
No questions, Amal. It's good.
Okay. Okay, great. So this was the, I can say, the basic example that we have understood, correct? Now we'll take little the advanced example. Okay. Now just assume like when we have like here in this case it's not very straightforward. We were interested to understand whether the number is greater than 100 or less than 100. Okay. But if you have, let's say, the multiple conditions like this, okay, like let's say if it is greater than 100, if it is between 100 to 500, if it is 500 to 1000, and then maybe greater than 1000, okay, something like that, you have the condition. In that case we have to go something called as a nested if else, or rather I can say the if else if else if else. Okay, we can just go on, this keep going on. Okay, so that is something we can also do. Okay, that is something we can also, that is the multiple conditioning we can allow in the script. Okay, and how we can do that one? So it goes like this way, that is, let's say if the condition is satisfied, then execute this part. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna say else if. Okay, else if, like else if, then we're gonna put one more condition, then execute this part. Okay, then we're gonna say again, like, and then at last, okay, at last, then when we are done with all the condition, in that case we're gonna say else and then execute something as a last thing. Okay, so this is the way that we can do it. Okay, this is the way that we can do it. Okay, so let me take one more example for you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna do what, we have one command, that is IP address show. Okay, this particular command we have. Now this supposed to give us the all the interfaces. Okay, now here you can see this is the loopback IP we have. Okay, and then this is the Ethernet 0 port we have. Now maybe if you're working on network devices, or when you are working on the on-premises network, okay, in that case it may happen that you have a multiple network interfaces. Okay, like here we have ETH0, like you will have ETH1, ETH2, ETH3, like that you will have the multiple interfaces. Okay, those are like a number of ports you have. Okay, not much. Okay, maybe somewhere around a four port you may have. Okay, for your network devices, like server is what, it's again it's something like a CPU you have. Okay, CPU you have, and in fact, let's say you guys, if you see nowadays we all have the laptops, but if you go and see the old CPU, okay, in that case you might have observed sometimes we may have the more than one Ethernet port also. Okay, so in a very old CPUs, you might have observed that one. I'm not sure for the new CPUs, but yes, so we may have the more than one port, and then now here you can see like this is what the port we have. Now what I'm trying to say, I'm just like trying to create any complex script, okay, where we can have, we have to put some extra efforts. Okay, I can directly show you the if else one like multiple condition, the example which we have taken. Let's say we take the number, and if it is greater than 100, then print this. Okay, if the number is between 100 and 100 and 500, okay, we then print this, and then more than 500, then print this. Okay, we could have taken the small example, but let's take little something interesting one. Okay, now what the problem statement here I'm putting is, whenever you see something like this, okay, that is Ethernet port. So how many Ethernet port you have it for your system? Okay, that is something you are interested to find out. Okay, how many active interfaces you have, that is something you are interested to find out. Okay, now this is loopback IP. Okay, this is loopback IP. So loopback is there for each and every device. So this is just like a dummy loopback IP you have. Okay, this is the actual port. Okay, this is the actual port, and here you can see this is the IP we have assigned for this particular port also. Okay, so this is what the port we have, and then we are interested to we are interested here to find out how many active ports we have. Okay, so maybe I would like to do it like this way. If I'm having the one port, okay, now this is just a one port, okay, like one IP interface, then print the message that you have one interface. Okay, let's say in the case where I'm having multiple more than one, okay, in that case print that you have the multiple more than one port. Okay, and lastly you will do what, let's like when you don't have anything, okay, maybe you'll say no active interface, something like that. Okay, so here you guys can see that this is giving me the output, but I'm interested particularly within this output, right? So this loopback output is like a dummy one. Okay, so we are not interested to take this one. So what we are interested here to, we are interested to nugget. Nugget means what? We are interested to ignore this particular keyword. Okay, that is loopback, whatever the loopback interface we have. So this is not the actual interface. So we are interested to nugget this one. Okay, so maybe what I'll do, I just like do it this way. Okay, so let's say IP address show is this command we have, and if I do the grep, okay, and grep, and then we are interested to nugget. Nugget, for nugget we have a -v option. Okay, -v will works in a reverse way. So grep command is supposed to print whichever the word available we have. Okay, so that output it's supposed to print. -v we are saying it for to nugget. Okay, so I'll take this one, that is loopback. I'll take loopback keyword. Okay, and if I press enter, you'll notice that that particular line has gone. Okay, that particular line has gone. Okay, and but here, okay, so loopback line has gone. Okay, loopback line has gone. Okay, now the next thing we are interested here to print this only line. Okay, this only line, and we supposed to find out any keyword here which must be unique, okay, on this line. Okay, on this the like we are interested to find a keyword here which shouldn't be anywhere. Okay, so that's something we are interested to. So let me like do it with this way. So here you can see we have one keyword that is MTU. Okay, that is a maximum transmission unit. It is okay, like how much packets can be allowed at one single instance. Okay, that is the MTU. So okay, so no, that is not it. Like you don't have to worry about that. Okay, what I'm saying is that this particular keyword is unique, right? I can't see here anywhere. So maybe I'll say what? I'll say grep. Okay, I'll say grep, and I'll say MTU. Okay, so now here in this case you can see perfectly I have just got one single line. Okay, perfectly I've got the one single line, and how many lines I'm getting. Okay, so that is something can decide, that can something decide that how many IPs I'm getting. Okay, so you guys get it, like what we are doing here is we are finding this particular output. Okay, we are finding this particular output, and so here what is the value you're getting. Okay, based on that you can decide how many value you're having. Okay, so this is something giving me one line. Okay, so maybe I can say I can just equivalent to this one. Okay, so did you guys got this thing? Okay, like did you get this one, how we have got it this value? So I'll repeat one more time for you. Okay, so what we are saying here is that I'm taking this output. Then first of all, we nugget one value because this was a dummy output. I don't want to get that one because empty word is present here also. Okay, try to understand that empty word is present here also. So if I would have got with the empty word, then maybe this line and this line, both the lines will come. Okay, so better what I did, I just neglect this particular line first. Okay, and then I just printed this line. Okay, how I did that one? So I just said negate first line, and then I use one grep empty command, and now I'm getting this as the output. Okay, but what I want a number of lines. Okay, so this maybe this whole thing is not useful for me. So what I can do is I can use one more command we have, that is something like I and C. Okay, so I is for what? So whether empty is capital word or small word. Okay, it's supposed to take that one, and C is for count. Okay, so if I just press enter, then you can see that we have got what? We have got a 1 as output. Now what is meaning of that? So basically here this empty word is coming for the first time. Okay, only one time we have. Let's suppose we have one more active interface, then we would have got two lines here. Okay, one line, one this one, and below we would have got another line, and we would have got the output as 2. Okay, now it's time to compare it, okay, with the if else, and that's how maybe we can go and do it. Okay, so that's how we can go it. So I just wanted to make it little interesting. That's the reason I put the question like this way. Try to understand the question first. Okay, so we are interested here to execute the script, and we are interested to find how many active interfaces we have. Okay, so this is the first interface we can see. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but it may happen that you have a multiple interfaces. In that case, what you can do is, okay, or in fact, okay, this is a AWS server. This is a AWS server. We can put multiple network interfaces also. Just create your separate interface and attach that network interface to your virtual machine, and that's how we can have the multiple interfaces also. So for virtual machine, it's no big deal. Okay, for virtual machine, it's no big deal. Just create one extra interface and just attach it here. Okay, and then that is something you can do. In that case, you will see the notice that you will have the two interface, right? Here in our case, it is just a one. Okay. Now this is what the output of the command. Okay, this is what the output of the command. But can I just like here in the case of if else condition, right? You guys know if, then we say the square bracket, and then maybe I want the whole execution of this one. Okay, I want the whole execution of this one. Okay, maybe this is like a big thing to execute, right? In one go. Okay, or maybe it doesn't look good here. Okay, so what we can do is we can store the value of this. Okay, we can store the value of this. Now, how we can store the value of this? Okay, so you would like to execute this as in one go. Okay, you would like to execute this as in one go, and how we can achieve that one? Basically, you can like just declare something like this value. Okay, is equal to, you can put some curl. Okay, like above curl you have something like a back quotes. Okay, like okay, what is this? What is this? These are not quotes. Okay, quotes like this way. Okay, this is quotes. Okay, what is this? This is backticks. Backticks, where you will get it? So you can get that one to the left key of the one number. Okay, one number. Okay, this is what the backticks is. The backticks is very important in bash scripting, guys. Okay, backticks is very important in bash scripting. So what the backticks, you can use it. So here you can like do it this way. So execution of this whole command. Okay, execution of this whole command, you can just like do it this way. And what is the output, you will get it. Okay, just try to understand. So whenever you are doing something like this, the execution of this whole command will happen. Okay, and then here in the value, okay, here in the value, you will get the value assigned of this, whatever you get here. Okay, whatever the result you get here. Okay, whatever the result you get here, so that particular value you will get it here. Okay, and that is something gonna happen here. So let me press enter, and we'll try to echo value. Okay, you can see here we have got the value equal to 1. Okay, so this is something the learning I wanted to give you along with the if else. Okay, this is something the learning I wanted to give it. So whenever you would like to store the output, okay, you would like to store the output of any command or something like that, the complex command, okay, in one single variable. So in always what you're gonna do, you're gonna put something backticks around that particular command. Okay, like whichever the complex, however the complex command is yours is. Okay, so you're gonna put it the backticks around that particular command. Now what will happen? The execution of this will happen first. Okay, you will get some desired result, and that value will get assigned here, stored here. Okay, and that is what here you can see. Okay, now exactly whatever we have, whatever we wanted to have as that like interface number is we have stored in a variable. Okay, great. Now here onwards, okay, here onwards we're gonna start and do the if else condition. Now if else part is very easy. Okay, if else part is comparatively very easy. So is like do you guys have understood like how we have achieved this one? Okay, any question here, guys, you have like, or should I just summarize it for you again? What we are doing here is that we are taking, okay, we are taking one this IP address show output. Okay, and then as per our requirement we have modified that one. Okay, what we have done is we have first of all like nugget that loopback value, then we are gripping the MTU, and that's how we have just found out one single line. Then we wanted to have as count. Okay, so you put the -c option here. Okay, and that's how you got the 1 as a value. Now after getting this 1 value, okay, you're doing what? You're saying echo value. Okay, you got the 1 as value, and now you can go and run any script. Okay, so now here you're in position that to be running the script. Okay, that the logic which we have to implement, that is quite easy. But is this is good? Are you good with this? Let me know. Are you comfortable with this? Any question, guys, here at this point? Maybe little overwhelming, but any question you have in your mind, let me know. No
No
question,
question.
right? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So the next thing that what we're gonna do is we're gonna write one if else condition. Okay. And in if else it goes like here the if else is not that big deal, I believe. Okay. But let's go and execute it. Okay. So what we're gonna do is okay, I'll write new script for that. Okay. So I'll say nano 11 is the new number we'll take. Okay. I'll say if else again. Okay. Dot sh. Okay. And bin bash is something we'll use. And okay, now I missed to copy that one. Okay, let me go back. I'll copy this whole thing. Okay, I'll copy this whole thing, and within this script I'll paste that one simply. Okay, yes, we have got it. This one value we have got it. Okay, and maybe if you're interested, you can just put that value echo value just for understanding purpose. Okay, great. Next thing is what here you'll say if else condition. Okay, you'll put out that bracket. Okay, now till the time you guys are not getting comfortable with if else for loop while loop. Okay, what you will do, always write simple syntax first. Okay, don't worry about much. Okay, always write the simple syntax. What you have to do, so today like this example we are taking it for the if else if like that we are taking up. Okay, so that's the reason I'll just say if then condition. Okay, and then here I'll say then. Okay, if this condition is true, then do whatever you have to do. Okay, so you'll like keep one space. Okay, just go like keep one just enter one more time, and then here you're saying what else if. Okay, and then else if you have to do it like this way, ef. Okay, elif you can also say. Okay, else if and else if. Okay, when you're putting else if, like else if whatever condition you have, okay, put that one, then do this. Okay, then do this. Okay, then and then after that, after doing that, okay, even that condition is not also satisfied, then else at some last, okay, do something, at least do something. Okay, like that we can say. And maybe and then lastly, okay, we have to say the opposite of if. It is the fi. Okay, what is fi? Fi means the ending of this particular if. Okay, so this is what you are saying. Okay, now in between you have to fill the condition, whatever the condition you have. Okay, just go and fill it. Make sure that you will keep one space here. Okay, because spacing is important, guys. Okay, in Linux spacing is important. Okay, the indentation doesn't matter, but the spacing is important. Okay, so after if there is one space, okay, in a bracket, as soon as you like type, okay, there is one space, and then here you will type, okay, that is a value. Okay, dollar value is equal to, if it equal to 1. Okay, okay, if it is equal to 1, then what, then you will print like, let's say, echo you have one active interface. Okay, so that's something you will say. Then else if, okay, dollar when dollar value, okay, equal to, okay, equal to, or rather than equal to, I'll say maybe the greater than. Okay, maybe greater than 1. Okay, when you have the value greater than 1, in that case, then what you'll print, you'll simply like print you have multiple interface. Okay, so something like that you will say. Else let's say you didn't got any value. Okay, just imagine you didn't get any value, then you can maybe say echo you don't have the active interface. Okay, so that's something you will say. Okay, so I hope like here, let's try to understand one more thing. Okay, if this value is good, okay, then print this. Else if there's one more condition you're putting, okay, then print. Okay, let's say you have one more condition. Okay, you will say again else if one more condition, and at last, okay, when all the things are not satisfied, okay, in that case what you have to do, so you're just saying you don't have an activity engine. Okay, so that is something here we have to learn. There's a multiple if else. You know how we can implement a multiple if else. Okay, it's all about the syntaxes, I believe, guys. Okay, so maybe logically, first of all try to understand it logically, because that is very important. Once you have understood the logically, okay, the next thing, don't make the syntax mistake. Okay, because, okay, frankly speaking, in a bash scripting we don't have to like worry about, like, let's say if this there, okay, if it is like here, okay, what will be the output? No, it is not causing any problem. This is not causing any problem. Okay, so this is good, but don't do the mistake here. Okay, the most of the people do the mistake here. Okay, like they do something like this. Okay, they do something like this. Okay, now this is not acceptable. Okay, this is not acceptable. So just keep this in your mind, that we have to like keep the spaces here. Okay, and like a lot of students just do the mistake here. So please be aware of this thing, that we have to keep the space here. Okay, and then here also. All right. So looks great. Okay, our script looks great. Let me save it. I'll say Control O, press Enter, Control X to get out of it, and then here we'll say 11 if else. Okay. Oh, we have to give the permission. Okay, here we will say chmod plus X. Okay, here we have given the permission, and now let's go and execute this particular script. You can see we have got the desired output. Okay, we have got the desired output. Great. So this is the way that you can execute the script. Okay, so here my intention was to obviously show you the if else, like the multiple if else, but apart from that, here we have done something. Okay, here we have done something, and this is something also important, guys, you to understand. Okay, so the backticks is very playing the important role. Okay, here whole thing, okay, you have calculated something, that whole thing you're just like simply putting it in one variable. That is what the important thing is. Okay, once you got the value, then probably the if else is something. Okay, that was again the intention. We have to learn it. Okay, I could have taken the simple example also. Okay, better than this, but yeah, maybe this will teach you more things. Okay, so maybe here this is something you have learned extra. Okay, so great. Any question, guys, you have here in multiple if else, like anything you want to ask, don't hesitate to ask the questions. Okay, any question you have here at this point, guys?
Well, currently we don't have any question.
All right. Just 1 second. All right. The next thing that we have to discuss about is gonna be about the loops. Okay. So loops is something that we have to learn, and to be specifically here, we are talking about the for loop. Okay, for loop, and then we'll learn one more loop, that is the while loop. But let's get started with the for loop. And now what happened, the biggest mistake that people do often do as a student, okay? So those who are not familiar with the bash scripting, they have heard about the for loop in because of the many other languages like for loop. We have in Java also, correct? But for loop in the Java and for loop in the bash scripting, or in fact in the Python, okay, the Python and bash, okay, you will find a lot of similarity when it comes to whatever we have learned so far. If you just try to compare it with the Python, you'll find a lot of similarity. Okay, in fact, like exactly the same thing. Okay, so there is no much difference for the Python and the bash scripting. Okay, So even if you are comfortable to learn, okay, the Python by yourself, okay, you can go ahead and learn that ahead. So at least the syntaxes and all things are very, very similar, you will notice. Okay, let's talk about the for loop. Okay, so what I'm saying is for loop in the Python and the bash scripting is similar, but when it comes to Java, okay, like it is having a lot of difference. Okay, so you guys might have learned, the for loop and I is equal to this, and then I plus plus less than, okay, and then I plus plus, you have something, right? So no, this is not the way that we have the loop for bash scripting. Okay, so in the bash scripting, okay, the loop goes like this way. The syntax. Okay, let's try to understand the syntax first, and then maybe I'll talk about the examples. With the example, we'll try to understand. Okay, so okay, first of all, what is a loop? What is the use of the loop? Okay, what is the use of the loop? So in a bash scripting, okay, in a bash scripting, we have the very straight away the scenarios. Okay, so when it comes to the for loop and while, okay, you might notice that one thing can be achieved with the both. Okay, in case of the like with the for loop also you can do the same thing, with the while loop also you can do the same thing. In a probably in the Java you might have noticed that. Okay, but when it comes to the bash scripting, it is very straightaway scenario. Here the things are quite the straightforward. For loop has a complete different way of execution and a total different way of working. And while is almost similar like the other language. Okay, so that is what here we have. Okay, so whenever it comes to loop, okay, we need to understand what is use case, and accordingly appropriate loop we have to choose. Okay, so here what I'm saying is that the loop that the first loop we're gonna learn is the for loop. Okay, and for loop syntax. Okay, first of all, what is the use of the for loop? Okay, or in fact, like looping is when we in any language when we have to use a loop. So just imagine the scenario where you have to do it again and again and again. Okay, so it means that iteration. Okay, when it comes to the iteration of something, okay, maybe any command or based on something, okay, you just have to do it. So maybe if I give example, last time we were learning something like add username, right? Yesterday we were doing something adding the username. Just imagine that you have 100 people you have to execute. Okay, you have to add the 100 people to be add in within your system. Now you will go and say user add command first for first user, then you will type the second command. Okay, maybe this doesn't look good, right? Or even you have written one script. Okay, then two you have to write 100 number of lines. So again, that is not which we call as a optimized code. Okay, so what could be the better choice? So better choice here, you have something iteration to be done. Okay, we have to do some iteration to be done. So you need to identify the scenarios where we have to do some iteration. We are not decided with a finite number is something we have to understand, and accordingly we can use the loop. Okay, now which one loop we have here we have to learn first is the for loop. Okay, so let's discuss that what is the syntax we have. Okay, what is the syntax we have for loop? So it goes like this way. That is the something we mentioned that for. Okay, we mentioned something like a for, and then here we have a variable name. Okay, here we have a variable name. Now variable name, it's supposed to we can take it it is as per our choice. Okay, so this particular variable name is gonna like just pass it through again and again iterations. Okay, so any variable name you can just declare. Okay, so here maybe I'll say var. Okay, var, and then that particular variable we'll say in. So we are learning the syntax first. Okay, just try to understand the syntax, then the execution is very simple. Okay, so for then variable in what, like how many iteration it has to perform. Okay, so that list. Okay, so in case of the for loop, okay, in case of the for loop, here we have to mention the list. Okay, so we'll say item 1. Okay, then item 2. Okay, item 3, like that we have a list. Okay, so and then next is what, for then do whatever you have to do. Okay, do whatever you have to do, like command execution of the command. Okay, and then you will say done. So this is what the syntax is, and let's try to understand one by one. So what will happen for the first iteration? Okay, so it will come with this value, that is item 1, whatever here you have written. Okay, whatever you have written as the first item, that will be considered as a variable value. Okay, that will be considered as a variable value. And let's say if I just say echo hyphen var, okay, if I say hyphen echo var, okay, so what will happen? So this value is assigned for this value, okay, and then this value will get printed, and then it will move to the next iteration. Okay, then it will say again what? It will say echo item 2. Okay, again it will go and say echo item 3. Like that, the iteration will go till what? Okay, how many values items we have given here? Okay, how many items here we have given here? Okay, so that's how it's gonna be. Okay, that's how it's gonna be. So this is a list. Okay, this is a list. Okay, actually we don't give these brackets here, but we directly simply mention it like this is item 1, item 2, item 3, like that we just mention. Okay, now each value will get filled up here. Okay, each value will get filled up here. So each value will get filled up here, and that's how. So for each iteration, this value will come here, and then like we will have the new value, and that's how the execution is done. Once the execution is done, again the new execution will happen, and like that, this loop will go on. So this is what the syntax we have. This is what the syntax we have. So let's go ahead and quickly take one example to let's see the example of this. Okay. So what I'll do is maybe I'll write one loop here. Okay, so this is I'll create the 12th script, and here I'll say for loop. Okay, dot sh, and inside that the bin bash, and inside that what we'll do is here I'll say for, and then we know that any variable name you can take it as per your choice. Let's say var only will take it. Okay, as per last example, var in the list format. Okay, like whatever the item 1, item 2 you have to mention. Okay, that's something you can mention, and then I'll first of all write the syntax. Okay, then I'll so it's a do and done. Okay, and in between do and done you can do whatever you have to do it. Okay, so what are the items you have to take? Okay, let's say we have to print something, the anything what we can take, any kind of a skill. Okay, so skill, what skill we can have, or let's say any sports we can take it. Okay, so maybe here I'll say football. Okay, it's the first sport. Then maybe here I'll say cricket. Okay, okay, then what else we can take? The hockey ball. Hockey, okay, just hockey. Okay, what else we can take? Okay, just imagine. Okay, these are sports we have. Okay, whatever the sports you guys know. Okay, you can put it. I'm not that well in sports, so okay, I just know this few. So I'm just like taking any example, and maybe here I can just like say anything, like echo. Here I'm just interested to print the result. Okay, now what we are printed here, what we are interested to, so this value will be coming, and then I have to utilize this variable. Okay, so what you can say here, maybe the sport value is, okay, sport var value is, okay, and after that you can like do it this way, maybe var var. Okay, so this and this has to be similar, right? This and this has to be similar. So this is what you are doing. Okay, this is what you are doing. So what will happen here? Okay, let's try to understand in a syntax way. Okay, so here, so first of all, this is a football variable. Okay, so this will come here. Okay, and then this will be printed here. Okay, next time the next value come here, and it will get printed. Okay, third variable will come, and third variable will get printed. Okay, so like that you can say. Okay, so Control O, press enter. Okay, I'll give the permission at chmod plus x 12. Okay, so we are giving the permission, and it's time to execute this script. Okay, so you can see here the sport var value is this one. Okay, maybe the execution was quite fast, right? So what we can do is I can just make it little slower. Okay, just do what? Just let's say sleep for 2 seconds. Yeah, sleep for 2 seconds, and now the execution will. So what will happen? The first, it will get print the first result, then it will wait for 2 seconds, then it will print the second result, then it will wait for 2 seconds, then it will print the third result. Okay, like that it will happen. So let's go and do it. So let me say Control O, press enter, Control X. Okay. So let's see now how the script will get executed. Here you can see football, then it's waiting. Okay, and then like that. Okay, after waiting, it's right. So there maybe it looks little nice, right? So yes, so this is the way that we have printed this value. Okay, and this is how the for loop works. Okay, this is how for loop works. Okay, now maybe you will say at this point, okay, you're passing the values like this way, that is football, cricket, hockey. Okay, which is quite big name to like type it. Okay, or maybe it doesn't look good, right? So let's say here we have so many values, so it doesn't look good. What else you can do is you can create one variable. Okay, you can create one variable, let's say sport name. Okay, and then you can store that all the values, and here just put that value like this way, that is a dollar sports value, whatever you have mentioned. Okay, so that you can just, this is the way you can just do it. Okay, now what will happen? So like this way, okay, like this way, that whole value will come over here, and one by one the execution will happen. Okay, so it is the now how iteration happen. So it is identified by the space. Okay, so this is the first item, then there is a space. Okay, then there is a second item. Okay, so that's how it will be executed. Okay, so make sure that whatever the value you want to pass, there should be any space in between. Okay, so that's how it is gonna execute. So this is what maybe close to syntax. Okay, we have done the same example. We have taken the same example. So any question, guys, you have here at this point? Any question here you have? Anything, guys? All good? Any questions? No questions, right? Or is there any?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Okay, great. So fine. We will do one more thing. Okay, we'll take one more example. Okay, yesterday's example only. I am interested to take it here. So yesterday we were trying to add the user. Okay, if you remember, we were trying to add the user, and maybe that wasn't a good practice to pass the argument as a username. Okay, maybe let's say we have to add so many users, so probably we should make one list and we should pass it via for loop. Okay, so let's do it. So what I'm gonna do is maybe here I'll create one more script. Okay, so here I'll say 13 for loop dot sh. Okay, and here I'll type it. Okay, so here what we're gonna do, let's take consider variable this time. Okay, let's consider one variable this time. So last time we just passed all the in front of the for loop. Now this time what I'm saying is, let's say we have to add one users. Okay, so I'll create one users variable, and then now this time we will pass all the users via within this like string. Okay, and in between I'll be keeping some of the space. Okay, so let's take one user. Okay, so maybe the first user I'll add, or I think we have already added few users, but let's say I'll take random names. Okay, from the student itself. Okay, one is the Praveen. I'll take the Ranjit, and one is a Vinod. Okay, so these are the users I'll take. Okay, so here I'll take random names. Okay, so it's Vinod. Okay, then a space. Okay, then I'll take Ranjit. Okay, and third name I'll take it as Praveen. Okay, so these are the users we are interested to add. Okay, now the list can be bigger, right? Like you get the point, right? So one user, second user, third user, you just keep adding but giving the space in between. So that is something here we have done. Okay, great. Now what here you are doing, you're saying here for. Okay, then the variable name. Now maybe variable name is as per your choice, so just give it any variable name. So let's say USR. Okay, variable name in which list. Okay, so this is a user list. Okay, you would like to have the value of this whole thing. Okay, so how you gonna print it? So just say dollar users. Okay, so this supposed to print the whole this data here. Okay, then how the for loop goes, it's a do and done. Okay, so that's how it goes. And now whatever you have to do, okay, just say echo. Maybe here first of all you'll print adding the user. Okay, and username, whatever it is. Okay, so just say dollar USR. Okay, so this is the value of this user you are printing. Okay, great. Then you're doing what here? You will actually put out that command. Okay, which will say, let's say user add, and whatever that user you would like to add, just say user add. Now that you can put whole command. Okay, -m and then -s bin bash like that, or else you can put little small command also. Okay, directly that is the user and then add this user. Okay, maybe like this, and then yeah, we're good. Okay, we're good. Just if you are interested to understand whether you have added the user or not, okay, you can just make sure ID, and then you can just say user. Okay, what this will do, this will print the ID of that user. Okay, so whenever a user is getting created, so one ID also gets created by the Linux. Okay, this is just for confirmation whether you have added the user. Okay, so is that user got added or not? Okay, just for confirmation, maybe you can like do it this way. So what we are doing, we are just passing this whole list, okay, here. Okay, and one by one. So what will happen for a first iteration? Okay, it's gonna say echo adding the user. Okay, then we say Vinod. Then this command execution will happen, and as soon as if this user is added or not, okay, then this is supposed to print the ID of that user. Then the next iteration. Okay, or if you want, you can just make it sleep for 1 second. Okay, so the script will look little great. Okay, and then let me just save this one. Control O, press Control X. Okay, and here you'll say chmod plus X. Okay, and 13. So let's execute this particular script. Okay, so 13. And here you can see adding the user Vinod and then user ID for the Vinod. Okay, adding the user Ranjit. Okay, the user ID for the Ranjit. Okay, and adding the user Praveen. Okay, user ID for the Praveen. So this is the way that we have done the execution of the script. Okay, we have done the execution of the script. So this is the way that you can use a for loop. Okay, so for loop, and it goes like very simple. Okay, so you have to keep it in this way only. Okay, you have to keep it in this way, that whatever the list you have, okay, so that list execution has to be done here. So maybe initially you just mention all the list users here, and in later stage you can put it like this way. So maybe here you're not making a lot of congestion. Okay, here whatever you just do it and just put that variable here. Okay, it's a one and the same thing. So yes, this is the way that you can also execute the for loop. Any question, guys, here? So this is another example that we have seen. Any question at this point? You have any questions at this point? No questions? All good? Everything is good, guys? Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know. No questions, right? Fine. Okay, I'm just assuming at this point you don't have any question. Maybe it seems like you are a little bit overwhelmed. But yeah, that's fine. Maybe when you do the practice, by yourself, you won't have any questions much left. But any confusion or anything is there which is not understood to you, okay, let me know. Let me know those things. Okay, I can summarize. Okay, all the time I can just summarize like whatever we have done. Okay, we can always summarize. So don't hesitate to ask question. Okay, be open to unmute mic and ask the question. Okay, we can have the discussion. We can have the chit chat. So that's something we can do it. All right, so great. All right, this is what we have done so far. All right, maybe to just okay, give me 1 second, guys. Let me just think about. Okay, so any questions you have, anything? I was thinking to give you any example, but I'm not able to think right now. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Or else we move to the next topic, that's the while loop. Any question, guys? Is it understood to you? You want me to take it, summarize or anything? Anything you want me to do? All good?
Yeah, clear for all.
Okay. Okay, great. Fine, guys. Okay, so let's move to the next topic then. Let's just go and talk about the while loop. Okay. So here while loop is what something I believe like we have done so far. Is for other language, okay, it's a same way we have to do it for the bash scripting also. Okay. And it's a very simple, okay. The very simple fundamental you need to understand while loop is what it is based on some condition. Okay, based on some condition, it does work, and until that condition is true. Okay, so like it goes like this way. So while and then till the time we have this condition as true. Okay, we have this condition set it as true, the execution will happen. Syntax is very simple. While do done. Okay, so whatever here we have mentioned in between, okay, so that will keep on running again and again and again. Okay, but here you just have to think in this way. While if this is true, okay, if this condition is true, then go and execute this. Okay, again, if condition is true, execute again and again and again. It will keep going on. Okay, so if you have understood this fundamental, okay, everything would be very easy. Okay, in terms of the while loop. Okay, when we have to understand it. Okay, so or even if we just put the true word here directly, then what will happen? The loop will run indefinitely, okay, infinitely, because here you are always saying the true, right? So it will always keep on running. So that's the reason whenever we are putting out some condition, okay, for the for loop, so we also have to take care that it's supposed to stop at some point. Okay, so you have to, when you have some scenario where you have some numbers here, okay, for this condition, that condition, and some finite condition you have, and then this many iteration you want to have the iteration for these many numbers, okay, number of times. So in that case, for loop would be the great idea to execute. Okay, so let's go in and learn, okay, how we can do it. So let me take one example for this. Okay, the syntax is simple, right? So it's a for while, okay, and then it goes like this way. The condition we put it in the square bracket, like the if else. Okay, so if else, okay, we have a square bracket, and in middle we can have the condition, okay, and then we can put it. Okay, so let's do it this way. So what we will do here is, let's print 1 to 5 number. Okay, let's print 1 to 5 number with the iteration, something like that. We will try to do it. Okay, and how we can do it? So let me directly jump on the script, and then we'll write the script one by one, and then I'll explain the script. Okay, so maybe here I'll say nano, then here I'll say 14 while loop. Okay, dot sh, and then here I'll say bin bash. So this is a shebang character. And next thing is what? Next thing, we are interested to print 1 to 5 number. Okay, so for that maybe I'll like set some count, count count is equal to 0, something like that. Okay, so that we are starting from 0, and then we will increment that counter one by one, and then print it. Okay, so that's something here we are interested to do it. Okay, so I'll set it at 0 first. Okay, and then maybe I can just think about any file while loop condition. The condition need to be put in the square bracket. Okay, and then do and done. Okay, so whenever you are writing the script, okay, I'll tell you the beginner best way, how you can do it. All just put the syntax first. Okay, always just put the syntax first, just write the syntax. Okay, and then start thinking about the logic. Okay, how you can implement the logic and all, where you can put out the things. Okay, so maybe you can just think later, but just put the syntax here. Okay, now while, and then here you need to put condition. Okay, while, then here you need to put some condition. Okay, so here you are declaring some variable. Okay, now that variable you'll be printing here, but obviously you have to increment that variable one by one. Okay, so that is something also you have to do it. So let me put out one condition here. Okay, so at high overview level, we have understood little bit logic. Okay, now try to type or the like just think about okay how we can do it. So maybe here I'll put for the first the space, okay, because that's how the syntax is. Okay, and we gonna print the result. We're gonna print a result till this count, okay, whichever the count we have, okay, which is less than 5. Okay, so we are interested to print the 5 numbers. Okay, so maybe I'll say the count less than 5. Okay, less than 5, or should I say here the 1. Okay, count here I'll put it 1, and here I'll put a less than 6, means what, 1 to 5 numbers should get printed. Okay, and I'll keep the space again. So what we are doing is we supposed to print till the number is less than 5. Okay, and then here in middle, okay, we will do what, we will they say something like echo. Okay, and maybe here we will say value of the count is dollar count. Okay, so here whatever the value we are printing, okay, so just think, so count is 1. Now what will happen, that count, so this is the condition it will check. Okay, count is less than 6, is it true? Like here value of the count is what, it's 1. So is 1 is less than 6? Answer is true. Okay, so the output of this whole thing is what, true, right? So what is the result here we are expecting? Here it is saying true. True means what, that we can enter inside the loop. Okay, so it will go here and then value will get printed at this point. Okay, at this point we are not incrementing anything or like that. Okay, so we are done. Okay, so we are done with this value. Again next time it will try to check the iteration. Okay, again the value is 1 only. Okay, so the value of count is 1, we will say it as for infinite times. Okay, here at this point, okay, we haven't done anything as like the putting anything extra, but at this point you need to understand it like this much, that count is 1. Okay, here output we are getting is as a what, true. Okay, so 1 is less than 6, answer is true. Is so 1 is less than 6, answer is true. Okay, so output we are getting as what, true. And then here value of the count is what, we'll get like written as 1. Okay, again 1, again 1, again 1, and this keep going. Why? Because we are not making or we are not incrementing this. Okay, so that like it will reach, and when this condition will become false, okay, at that time this loop will stop. Okay, let me prove it to you. So here I'll say Control O, press enter, Control X. Okay, we'll give the execute access for this 14 script. Okay, and now we'll go and execute the script. Okay, okay, here you can see the value of count is 1 and 1 and 1. It is just going on. Okay, and it is like going for infinite. And then if I have to like stop the script, I'll do what, I'll say Control C. Okay, and you can see till the time like so much of ones got printed. Okay, like I'm just like scrolling here, you can see the arrow. Okay, I'm just like scrolling, so for in a very less time it has printed so many one. Okay, so you need to be also very careful about, you need to end the loop by same way. Okay, because just assume that if you keep running like 2 to 3 while loop like this, okay, in that case your system may also get crash. Okay, your system may also get crash. So this is very small processing which we are doing for infinite times. Okay, but you get the point, right? So if we keep the something, we are doing something big, okay, and then that is something going just for infinite times, then your system may get crash. So you have to be careful about this while the execution. Okay, it should have some end. Okay, it should have some end. So that is something here we are expecting. Okay, great. Now what we'll do, we'll put out that end. Okay, how we can do it? So we need to increment that number. Okay, we need to increment that number. So our goal was to not to print 1, but to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Okay, so and then what we can do is, maybe here you can say like count is equal to, okay, count plus 1 is something you can just do it. Okay, count plus 1. Now how you can do it? Okay, so just remember backticks. Okay, just backticks. Okay, so what is happening here for the first time? Okay, just look at this way. 1, okay, 1 is less than 6, true. Value of 1 will get printed. Okay, the value of count is 1. Then here it will be like count is equal to count plus 1. What is the value of count? Okay, let me do it this way. Count plus value is what? Here you need to like do it this like this. Okay, so count is what? It's a 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 now. Okay, so count value is changed from 1 to 2 now. Okay, then again it will come here. 2 is less than 6. True. Okay, it will come inside. Okay, now here what will happen? That count value has become 2. Okay, so now 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, 3 is less than 6. Okay, then 4 is less than 6. 5 is less than 6. Okay, till 5 it will print. Okay, till 5 it will print. Now count 5 plus 1 is has become 6. Okay, and then here it will come. Okay, now 6 is less than 6. Answer is false. Okay, answer is false. Okay, 6 is not less than 6. Okay, 6 is equal to the 6. Okay, so answer is false, and then that's how we will end up out of the loop. Okay, maybe here to just see the execution in a little better way. Okay, what we can also do is we can just say sleep maybe 2 seconds, and also to look good. Okay, to look good, I'll do what? I'll also say, okay, to look good, what we'll do is we'll just put some hashes in between. Okay, this is just for some decoration. Okay, here we'll do it like this way. Okay, and now let's save this one. Okay, let's see execution of this. Okay, so I'll say Control O, press Enter, Control X to get out of it, and here you're gonna execute the script like this way. What happened? Okay, we got some error. Okay, on line number 1 plus 1, command not found. Okay. Here what is happening? That count is equal to count plus 1. 1 plus 1, command not found. Okay, so for first one it is good. Then next command is what is wrong here? Let me check thing, guys. Okay, why it is taking the 1 plus 1 as a
Is this about the apostrophe, Amol?
which apostrophe?
Now we are given dollar count plus one, right, within the tilted symbol.
So here this is the backticks actually. Okay, so
Yeah.
what I'm expecting is to happen this calculation within this backticks. Okay, and then the value should get assigned to this variable, but this is throwing an error saying that the 1 plus 1 command not found. Okay, so this is something is this problematic. Now what is the problematic here? Count is equal to 0, then when count equal to less than 6, then it is entering the loop. The count is equal to, I'm making some very small mistake here. Okay, let me try to understand it. 1 plus 1, or let's do it other way. Nano. Okay, maybe here I can put it the dollar. So what is the meaning of it? That no value of this expression. I think we're good. Sure what wrong here. One more way to declare the variable. Okay, is the backticks is creating the problem? I'm not sure exactly. Let me do it with the other way. Okay, we'll sort it. Okay, guys. So so there is one more way, that is the option
One more, I
for
think I'm having a doubt. Here in while loop, we are using dollar count, right? I think there we need to use normal count, I think so.
Are you talking about this?
Yeah. Apart from that, here also, but it won't replicate, right? We are using the dollar
No,
here.
no, no. Okay. Just try to understand. What is this? This is here we're expecting the value of the count. Okay, so let's say if I just say if I don't mention the dollar sign, what will happen? It will always be the false. Okay, why? Because this is we are doing what? We are comparing the count as a variable. Okay, or what you can say is a string. Count is what? It is string, and that string is less than 6. Okay, so it's like, either we will get a syntax error, or it will never enter into the loop. Okay, so no, this is correct. Okay, maybe we'll we will sort out what could be wrong here. I'm just like guessing. So here I need to do it like this with count plus 1, and then there's one more option we have for backticks. Okay, and what is that? It is something like this. Okay, the double bracket. Okay, so double bracket is something, the option we have for for this uh, uh, the backticks. Okay, and then here I can put this one. Okay, so let's go and try to execute this one. Let me see. Okay, let's see. We'll try to execute. Yeah, it code it like it went it executed successfully. We'll see. Okay, we'll see what was wrong. So here maybe because this is the arithmetic operation, the backticks doesn't execute the arithmetic. No, I don't think so. We could have got it there also. So count plus 1 is happening here. Okay, and the value of whole thing is getting assigned to the count as variable. Okay. So this is what you guys have. Okay, so there is one option we have for a backticks. Okay, so for backticks we have other option is what you can mention it like this way. Okay, and this is something we also use. Okay, either backticks or this one. Now I need to little search around this, whether is there any issue in execution of the binary like arithmetic operations. Okay, because command is something like we have done executed for first case also, right? But I'm not sure about whether we got any trouble for arithmetic operation. So you can go for, currently you just go for this double brackets. Okay, for this one I'll search, and in next session I'll tell you, okay, what was the issue here, because I need to search a little bit around this. Okay, so we can't just waste the session time for that. So better we'll just move. So but how we did it, let me let's go back on our problem statement and what we have to achieve. That is something we have achieved successfully. Okay, let's see. So here we are trying to execute this particular program, and here you can see the value of count is 1 2 3 4 5. And how we have achieved? So you can say count is equal to 1. Okay, then you said what? You said count is less than 6. Okay, you said dollar count is equal to less than 6. What does it print? It doesn't print the like we have this many iterations we have to go. Okay, so we have to go on almost like 5 iterations. Okay, so then we are printing this count value, then this hashes we are printing. Okay, now for the very first time count is 1, right? So 1 is less than 6, true. Just go inside the condition, then print the result, then do what? Then increment count plus 1. Okay, like whatever we have already value, that plus 1, and this whole value is getting assigned again to count. Okay, and in backticks I think the problem was here that 1 plus 1, okay, it was trying to assume as a command. Yes, correct. Okay, so I think that was the problem. Okay, that was the problem here. When we try to execute that one, okay, we get something plus 1 command not found. Okay, what is the meaning of it? That it was assuming it is a command. Okay, so I think backticks is for the commands, and then double brackets, okay, is for the arithmetic operation. So arithmetic operations, you just keep this in mind. Okay, we have to use this double brackets. Okay, so value of this whole thing is getting assigned to this one. Then we wait for 2 seconds. Okay, again the value will become what? Here the value has become, count of value has become 2. Now 2 will come over here. 2 is less than 6, true, execution done. So now value has become 3. Okay, then again 3 is less than 6. Okay, like that, value will come to 5. Okay, 5 is less than 6, true, the execution will happen. Okay, 5 got printed. Okay, then count value has become 6. Okay, and then again 6 is less than 6. Answer is no. And this is the place where your loop will get end. Okay, so that's how your while loop execution will happen. Okay, so any question guys you have here at this point? Any question you have here at this point, guys? Anything you want to ask from your end? No questions? Any question guys you have here at this point? No questions, right?
Amol, we can include in while loop dollar count less than greater than or equal to, we can mention the both the equations, right? In a same loop.
Again, sorry.
No, after while loop, we're gonna be using dollar count and greater than or equal to the 6. We can use the both commands, right? In one single line.
Greater than or equal to if we say. So what is the meaning of that? That you are also interested to print a 6.
6 also, yeah.
Yeah. So yes, we can do it. Okay, how we can do it? So we can pass the two condition. Okay. So okay, let me just think about. Okay, so I think we have the or sign. No, we have the and sign. Okay. So you'll do what? You'll say the count. Okay. Is equal to like this count and the one more condition. Okay, just let me just think about. So we should have true and true. The whole sum we should get as a true. Okay, just let me just think about. We if we pass the while loop, we'll get like first condition is true, and then equal to. I think for less than or equal to, we should have something. Okay, you're asking for less than and equal to, right? So
Yes, Amol.
I think we have one word. Okay, let me search. So less and equal to. What you are asking for, less than and equal to, right? LE is something we have. I think it is LE. Okay, it is LE. It is LE. I'm not sure exactly, but let's try to execute. Less than equal to, you said, right? Okay, so now in this case, we are expected to print the 6 also. Let's save it and let's try to print it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes. So LE is the your answer. Okay. So how we can do it? So LE is something we can do it. Okay, LE. You get it?
Yeah, Amol, I got it.
So we have to just write it some way like the less than. Okay, then less than means LT. Okay, less than equal to means what? And
Amul,
then
like if it is like GE means greater than.
greater than. So greater than equal to. Correct?
Okay.
So when we have to say greater than equal to, it's gonna be the G. Okay, so these are the keywords we have to use. Like a plain English word, we have to mention it. Okay. Yeah. Great. Thanks for asking this question. Okay. Maybe I read, but I haven't used for a long time. That's the reason. Yeah. Okay, great. So yeah, this is what about the while loop, and maybe we'll take one more example. I just wanted to give understanding. Okay. Now, can you guys just think about that? Here so I'm giving you the question for you. Okay, this is the question for you, and then you guys have to give the answer here itself. Okay, here itself you will be typing in a notepad, and then you will be printing, or you will just like copy paste the result in the chat box. Okay, so the question here is, okay, please listen me the question. Okay, listen the question very carefully. Just try. I'm saying what? Just try. Okay, it's not compulsory thing that you have to you're able to give the answer. Okay. So first of all, you need to print the 1 to 100 number. Okay. First of all, you need to print a 1 to 100 number, and maybe like looking at this particular program, you will be able to do it. Okay. Is there any doubt you guys here? Let's say if I instead of if I told you that you have to print a 1 to 100 numbers, will you be able to do it? Any question? Will we be able to do it, guys? Any questions?
Yes,
Good, right? Yeah. After that, the next thing, what I'm putting as a new challenge is that whenever the number is coming inside a loop, okay, so you have to distinguish or you have to just print the even number, okay, or odd number, as per your choice. Okay, so just say even number. We have to print a even number. So will you be able to do it? Like just think about. Okay, I'm not saying you have to get the answer. Okay, so just try. Just try. Just take some 5 minutes from your end. Okay, just think it. That what I'm saying is the problem statement is like this way, that you have to print the 1 to 100 even numbers. So this is what the problem statement is. Okay, so the problem statement is, I'll repeat the problem statement. You have to print the 1 to 100 even numbers. Now you just think about, okay, what kind of a logic that you can apply. Just think about the logic. Even if you're able to tell me the logic, that is enough. Okay, so you guys just think. Let's take 5 minutes, and then you guys think, and then after 5 minutes, okay, we'll do it together. Okay, so just think about it, and then we'll discuss. We'll do some chit chat. Okay, so just think about it. Take some 5 minutes. Question is, you have to print 1 to 100 even numbers. Just think about it. Okay, I got the one answer about printing 1 to 100 number. Yeah, the from the Anthony. Yeah, this looks great. Okay, Anthony, thanks for sending me the output. Okay, so yes, guys. So maybe you can unmute. Okay, all of you, and then let's discuss it. Okay, like how we can make. Okay, let's just maybe if you guys have think about it, or you are in middle phase to write a program, but let it be. Okay, so you guys understood the problem. Okay, like what we here we're talking about, that printing the 1 to 100 number is quite easy, right? Now instead of just 6, just say 100. Okay, that's it, right? Just say 100. What will happen? It's supposed to print 1, 2, 3 like that. It's supposed to print till the 100. Okay, great. So you guys understood that how to print 1 to 100 number with this simple loop. But what I'm saying here ahead, I'm like putting one question, that we have to just print the 1 to 100 even numbers. Okay, now how we can print the even numbers? Okay, how we can print the even numbers? So for that purpose, we need to understand little bit, the maths, or you guys might have learned that maybe in the past there is one something sign we have, that is a modulus, which looks like the percentage sign. Okay, which looks like a percentage sign. So this is modulus sign we have. Okay, this we called as a modulus. Now what a modulus like does in the arithmetic. Okay, so this gives you the reminder. Okay, this gives you the reminder. Now what is reminder? Basically, let's say you divide. Okay, yes, please come on, give the answer. Okay.
Yeah, we can take that remainder is equal to 0. It's divisible by 2. Then it will
Yeah.
gonna be a number.
Exactly. Okay. So little bit logic. I just wanted this logic. Okay, that's it. If you're able to grab the logic, okay, somehow you're able to create the things. Okay. So what you can do is just think about any number. Okay, and just divide by 2. Okay. If the number is even, what you get is remainder as 0. Okay. And let's suppose if I do the same thing for, let's say, 11 number. Okay, what will be the remainder? Yeah, remainder is 1, right? I hope you get the remainder point. Okay, remainder is what is left out after division. Okay, what is left out after a division, that we call it as a remainder. And we have one arithmetic operation like this sign. Okay, whenever we divide any number by this like this way, okay, we get the remainder. And if that remainder is 0, okay, if the remainder is 0 means what? You are printing the even number. Okay, if that remainder is 1, you know that that is the odd number. So maybe this one logic you can apply here, and with this way you should be able to print your numbers. Okay, so let's go and do it. Okay, let's go and do it. So what here we will be doing, I'll type one new script. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll like just copy existing script and then make some modification there itself. Okay, so while loop.sh, sorry, I didn't put the source, it's a 14. Okay, and I'll modify that 15 number script. Okay, inside that, as usual, we have to start the counter at with the 1. Okay, so maybe here I'll type the little in a better way. Okay, so commenting is also a skill. Okay, like here I'll say initialize the counter. Okay, initialize the counter is something you can say, and then here I'm saying count is equal to 1. Now what we are doing is we have to print it to the 100. So I'll say less than equal to 100. Okay, so it's supposed to print a 100 number. Okay, this normal loop supposed to print a 100 number. Okay, now inside stuff I'll remove few of the things. Okay, maybe here we are just interested to print a number, so I'm not like printing all the things. Okay, but here is a condition. Okay, here is a condition. What we have to do, if okay, just try to understand, if only if my this number is divisible by that 2 and then remainder is 0. Okay, in that case only I would like to print. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna say here, okay, the if condition. Okay, we're gonna say here the if condition, and with the if, what we'll do is we'll like put the square bracket here. We have learned this today, right? how to put the if. So if, and then here we're gonna put that condition. Okay, so whatever that condition is divisible by 2, okay, equal to 0. So I'll just say first of all equal to 0, okay, like that condition will put, okay, that condition will put, and then maybe here I'll put it this way, that is this the double brackets, okay, double brackets, and here in the double bracket what we're gonna do is counter the value of the counter, okay, okay, it's a count, okay, it's a count, value of the count is a modulus, okay, that modulus sign equal to 2, okay. So this is what we'll say, the value of this whole thing, okay, this value of this whole thing, okay, I think here also we have to put this dollar, okay, yeah, now it looks great, okay. So value of this whole thing, okay, whenever we are doing this operation, that is a count of modulus is equal to 0, okay, whenever this whole thing will become 0, or you can just do it one more thing here, just do this operation in one variable first and then just put that variable name here, okay. If you want, this is like too much confusion, okay, you can just like put this whole thing, okay, you are doing this operation, that is the modulus count is equal to 2, okay, and then the reminder, this supposed to give you the reminder, this supposed to give you the reminder, okay, just imagine, now we are putting here one, okay, count is less than 100, it will enter inside the loop, then if this particular one value divide by or modulus 2, okay, the reminder here is again 1, okay. So if it is equal to 0, the answer is no, okay, then it's not gonna print anything, okay. Just assume, okay, like we will increment this count, okay, here we are incrementing the count, it will go and again ask here, okay, that now value is 2, okay, so 2 is less than 100, yes, come here, okay, 2 modulus 2 value equal to 0, and now here in this case we are interested to print the value, okay, so just say echo, okay, just say echo, and we will print that count, count, okay, we are printing that count, okay, we are printing that count, okay. Okay, by the way, how the syntax goes, if, and then we miss the then, okay, if then, and we have to end that if also, okay, we'll see where we're supposed to end that one. So if in this case, then just print the count, okay, and maybe the lines we are printing in middle, okay, that's fine. Okay, now we are done with printing, right? We're done with printing. So here we supposed to say fi, okay, which is we are closing this one, okay. Now what we are doing, we are incrementing that count by one value, okay. Then again maybe 2 is too much to wait, okay, I'll make it sleep is equal to 1, okay. So after 1 second, okay, again it will go with the new latest updated count, okay. With the latest updated count, it will reach out here, okay, it will say now the value is 2, okay, it's supposed to print this 2 value, then it will increment by 1, okay. Now when it is a 3, okay, it's not gonna execute, okay. When it is 4, it's gonna execute, like this it will go on, okay, like that it will go on, and it's just gonna print the even number, and it's not gonna like print the odd number. So this is what the example we have, okay, this is what the example we have. So let me save it, okay, I'll say Control O, press enter, Control X to get out of it, and if I do ls, okay, let's go and execute this particular script, that is 15, okay. Let's see the output, okay. So here you can see the 2 got printed, 4 got printed, okay, 6, 8, okay, like that it will just keep going on, and until what it's supposed to go till the 100, okay. Even if I just remove that 1 second delay, okay, it would have printed the whole thing like till the time, okay. Let me do that one. So maybe it's like taking some time for us to see the result. So I'll just remove that sleep command. Okay, I'll just remove your sleep command. And let's save it. And here you can see the execution is done. And we have just printed a 100 number. Okay, if you don't want to place this hash, okay, you can just remove it. But just for a distinguished purpose, we have kept it. Okay, so here you can see the execution is done successfully. So how we did it? Let's try to understand logic one more time. Okay, what we have done is we have initialized the count. Then we supposed to print a number. Okay, then here this is a trick actually. This is actually the logic. Okay, modulus is equal to 2. Okay, so when we are taking the modulus of any number, okay, so it's supposed to give us the remainder. And here we are dividing with the number of 2. Okay, so we should get either 1 or 0. These are the two values we can get it. If it is 0, that means what? It is an even number we are having. Then print the number. Okay, and then increment it. Okay, every increment, okay, it will go ahead and try to check the condition. If it is good, okay, it will execute. If it is even, basically, it will execute. And if it is odd, then it will skip that loop. Okay, it will skip that condition. So this is the way that we can execute the even number. Okay. Now, can anyone just tell me here? Let's say we have to print an odd number. In that case, what change exactly here we have to make? We have to print an odd number. In that case, what change here we have to make? Just think about it.
Not equal to 0.
Okay, not equal to 0 means what?
Remainder not equal to 0.
Yes, correct. You're close. Okay, but just think about. Okay, let's say we are dividing 11 number by 2. Okay, in that case, what the remainder we get? It's a 1.
Yeah, it's a 1. Yeah,
Correct. So rather than saying equal to 0, okay, rather than saying equal to 0, can we say equal to 1? Okay, when a remainder equal to 1, we can say
Yeah,
that
equal
we
to
can print a odd numbers, right? Correct.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So maybe this is a way that we can print a even or not odd number. Okay. So here in this case, this is for even. Just make it here 1. Okay, and then you can print for the odd number. So these are the way that you can just do it. Okay. So any question, guys, you have in this printing the loop? Any questions? Vinod, Anthony, Avinash, Mangala, Mani,
No,
Praveen,
no.
Ranjit,
No,
Vignesh.
no.
No questions, right? Okay. So what we'll do
Instead
is
of equal to 1, okay, we can just greater than 0 also, right?
sorry, sir, can you come again? Equal to?
So instead of equal to 1, okay, so we can realterate greater than 0 to print the odd number.
You can do it like that also. Yes, correct. So let's say here instead of saying 0, okay. So for odd numbers, let's say if you're putting greater than 1, okay. Yes, it is also good. Okay. So you can apply that also. Okay, fine. Okay, so what we'll do is like you might be interested to have this the scripts with you. Okay. So what we'll do is like very quickly we'll just transport this all the script to the GitHub. Okay. And then I'll share you the link here itself. Okay, very quickly we'll do it. Okay, so it will take the 2 minutes. So what we'll do is like here I'll go to the github.com and maybe here I'll say what I'll create new repository. Your batch number is DO16. Okay, so I'll say bash script. Okay, so this is what here you'll do. And I'll create repository. Now here I need to add a credential also, but let's do it very quickly. Okay, so here I'll say git init within this particular script. Next thing is git add all files, git commit -m, and here I'll say bash script for DO16 batch. Okay, so if I check the git status, I should find, okay, everything is clean. Now it's time to add a remote origin. Okay, what we'll do is here I'll say sh1 and I will add this origin here. Okay, it's time to push it, but obviously it won't allow me to push. Why? Because the reason I haven't added a credential, right? So let me do it that quickly. So here I'll say sh-keygen command. I'll press enter. Okay, here the credentials got stored on this particular location. Okay, there's the public credential. I'll take it. Okay, so this is a public credential. I need to save this particular credential to the GitHub. Okay, so I'll go to the settings. Inside that, I should find a SH and GPG key. Here I'll say new SH key, and I'll give some name. Let's say bash script key. Okay, any name you can just give it. Okay, it doesn't matter. So here I'll give paste the key, add SH key. It's asking me to provide a password. Let me do it. Okay, we are done with adding the key. Now it's time to push it. Okay, so here you'll say git push origin master. Okay, so this is the branch you are working on. Just say yes. And here we have pushed it. Okay, so now if I go back and refresh that particular repository, okay, here you can see we have this 016 bash script, you have it, and I'll just share this link with you. Okay, so with the HTTPS link, I'll just paste it in the chat box. Okay, so everyone just copy this link. Okay, I'm not sure whether you're able to copy the links from okay, you're able to just try to copy, let me know you're able to copy it, or you guys know, right, like how to yes, okay, great. Fine. So just copy that link. Okay, it is for your reference. Maybe if you want to refer it, okay. So even if you try the things, all things by yourself. Okay. So yeah, just do the practice and let me know if any questions you get it in the next session. Okay. So we'll discuss so you guys can always come with your queries and all doubts. All right. Okay. So fine, then we'll just stop here. Okay.
Amul, I have a question.
Yes. Yes.
Yesterday,
Please go ahead.
there was we wrote a script, right, for that website. Can you open that script? So
Okay.
my
Sure.
question is we downloaded it, unzipped it, and we just checked the status of the Apache, right? But it's like how the server got up, how the website got up. So usually whenever if you take any web server, we will put our zip file inside the web server, then we have to start the web server. But here I didn't see anything, just we are checking the status and it already took
Okay.
the yeah.
Okay, I'll answer your question. Okay. So here we are doing what? Here we are installing the Apache, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I show you directly the Apache status, service Apache 2 status. Okay. So in that case, you can see it is active and running. Now what happened? Because this is a Ubuntu machine. Okay. Because this is Ubuntu machine. For Ubuntu, you don't have to start a web server as such. Okay. As soon as you install the things in the Ubuntu machine. Okay. Now Ubuntu is the operating system. It works in this way that whenever you are installing the things, okay, so you don't have to start it again. Okay, they like as soon as you install, they will start automatically. Okay, but in case of the Red Hat CentOS OS, okay, in that case, what you have to do is you have to start the Apache 2. Let's say instead of this, okay, we use the Apache. Instead of that, we use the Apache. In that case, you have to use the command something like a systemctl. Okay, you will say start HTTPD. Okay, so this is something the command you have to say in that particular operating system. Okay, when you are using the Red Hat, let's say. So Apache 2 is having the name. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, it's the same name, package name. Okay, Apache 2 is for the Linux. Sorry, Ubuntu. Okay, and HTTPD is for the Red Hat or CentOS system. Okay, so in that case, you need to enable it. Okay, this is the first command that you have to execute. Okay, and you also have to, like here you can see the sysctl.
I understood that it will start automatically, but my question is how it knows this zip this folder having this file, so we need to take this file, so it will automatically will fetch the things like under that folder.
What we have
Yeah.
done is I'll show you. What is script name? Let's just give 1 second.
Website.
Yeah, 06. Okay. So yeah. So here what we are doing is we have got installed. Okay. So Apache and everything is running. Okay. That doubt is clear, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that is fine. Until copying also fine. We unzipped the file and we copied the file in var www.html.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
like
I'll explain. Okay. Let's suppose what happened if you have created any server. Okay. And we install Apache. What happened in that case? That we see some test page. Okay. If we try to access the page, okay, we get a test page. And where is the test page is located? It is located at this location. Okay. It is located at this var www.html location. Okay. So what we have done here is basically here we have unzip it, right? We have unzip and we have got something new.
Okay.
We have got something new file. We have basically just assume, okay, in this scenario you need to assume that like this is something the code the developer has, our own developer has developed this code. Okay, basically we have stolen it from one website. Okay, now here we have the code available and we have unzip it. Okay, once we have unzipped this particular code on this location, okay, this is the file we have got it, and we are copying that stuff at this location, that is via www.html. Now what happened in Apache? Okay, Apache is having the by default folder as this, that is a via www.html. On this particular location, it is having its own test string page. Okay, you just need to replace, or you just need to remove that testing page, and you have to put your own files. Okay, so this is your own file you have at this location. Okay, now it is local. Okay, local, which you have downloaded just now. So that file you will put it on this location, and that's how your web server will start serving your own website rather than its own test page.
So this var dev HTML is like a location already created in Linux, or like we create?
It is created, it is the by default location of the Apache. Okay, let me prove it to you. Okay, so let's do one small exercise. Okay, so what we will do is we'll create one more server. Okay, very quickly I'll just create one more server. It will take hardly 5 minutes for all the people. Just stay here. Okay, maybe it would be some learning for you all. Okay, so I'm just saying a web server, and I'm just like saying Ubuntu again for, okay, and then anything else. Yeah, keep here, we'll keep it Linux OS key again. And yeah, here we're launching this instance. Okay, very quickly we'll launch one instance, and I'll go to this instance and let's log into this new instance. Okay, here I'm having the public IP. It is pending set, but it will be available soon. So I'll open the Git bash till that time. And we have the keys in downloads folder. Okay, so I'll just go to downloads, /i, Linux OS key, Ubuntu, enter it, the public IP. Okay, it is up, and we are inside this new server. Okay, so what we'll do here is we'll install the Apache. Okay, just a plain Apache will install it. Okay. Okay. Now what we will do is here I'll say apt get update and apt get install Apache 2. Okay. And also I'm giving the auto approval. So it's supposed to update the repository and it's supposed to install the Apache 2. Okay, so that will be done. And one more thing which you're gonna face ahead is we need to open the port security port. So let's open that one. Okay, port 80 is something. We have to open it. Without that, we can't access the port 80. So let me do it here. I'll just go to edit inbound rule. I'll say add rule, and here I'll open that HTTP port number. And here I'll say anywhere from IPv4. Okay. So I'll just open that particular port number. Now what we have done is here we have logged in. Okay. So let's see. Yes. Here you can see the Apache 2 is started. Okay. And then let me just just to prove the point, I'll say Apache what's Apache 2 status. Okay, so here you can see it's running. Okay, it's running 37 seconds ago. Okay, great. So it is enabled and running. So that is the by default property of the Ubuntu. Now here at this point, okay, we have opened the port number. Okay, what we'll do is I'll just go. What I'm doing is that here I'll go to instances. Here I'll take the public IP. I'll put it in the new browser. Okay, and you can see it works. Okay, so this is the default page we are getting. And if you just read here, where www.html, okay, this place, okay, you should replace this file, okay, because this is a testing page which is coming. Okay, this is showing us the testing page. Okay, now instead of that, we have to put our own file. Okay, so what we will do is I'll go to this particular path, that is the cd/var www.html. Okay, and if I go inside, okay, here you can see we have this index.html file. Okay, if I remove this file, okay, and if I refresh here, okay, you can see it's gone. Okay, and instead of that, if I just put my own index.html file, okay, let's say this is the testing page. Now it's supposed to be with the HTML tags and all. Okay, like it's supposed to be like this way. The HTML people, the front end developer will write it, okay, for you. So this is the way that like he will write whole code, okay, here. Now we're just like writing very simple code, okay, and we're done writing, okay. And then now here I have given some different page. Let me refresh it. You can see this is the testing page. Okay, so we just have to replace that particular page. We will get the code from the developer, and then we have to put that code.
You are copying, right? If you see that script, that website script.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Let me show the script. Yes. Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah. So you copy into that destination, right? But you are not removing that HTML.
So it will get removed. Why? Because because here I put one recursive option. Okay. Or
Okay.
in fact, I should use one -m option. Okay. What is happening? I'll tell you. Here I'm using one sudo command, and index.html is already existing. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this particular file is also having one index.html, so already existing file will get replaced with the new file. So this is what will happen.
Okay. So you are putting that /star, right? So which means all the
Oh
files
yes,
under the folder.
will get copied to this location.
If we don't put that /star, what will happen? That whole folder will be copied, right?
No, like what we have to copy, we have to copy the content, right? So that is what here
Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay.
We have to
/star.
copy. Yeah, star means for like all the files, whatever it is. Okay, just copy whole thing.
Okay. Okay. Now understood. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay, fine, guys. So okay, so see you then. You all in the next session. That is on the next Saturday. Okay. So have a good day. Bye. Bye. Bye.